All right, did that do it? Let's see here. Excellent. Well, hello everybody, and welcome back to Paleontologizing. It's wonderful to have you here. Welcome back to northern Montana. Welcome back to the late Cretaceous period, digging in rocks about 76 million years old. Welcome back to a live dinosaur dig. We're excavating the fossils of not just dinosaurs, but lots of other cool vertebrate critters and some inverts and some plants too, on occasion, with the Badlands Dinosaur Museum from Dickinson, North Dakota. If it's your first time, let me introduce myself real quick. My name is Danny Anduza. I'm a dinosaur paleontologist. And the whole point of these broadcasts is to not just tell you, but show you how fossil science really works. How do we do field work? How do we gather data? How do we collect specimens? All that good stuff. And who are paleontologists? What we do? Why is this work important? Why should you care about it? All that stuff. You can ask those questions and more live here on Twitch. So I'm glad you're here. Welcome, welcome, everybody. This is my last stream from Montana this season. This has been here for almost 2 weeks now at this point. And this will not be the last of the fieldwork streams this year. Obviously, I'm going to be going to Utah and then doing some, well, probably 2 different stints in Utah this summer and this fall, and we'll see what else happens too. Slight chance of some fieldwork in Nevada or some in California. But anyway, this is the last day from Montana, so I'm glad you could be here. How's everybody doing? Claire Burr, howdy howdy. Kevin661, Tiny Small, the Tech Bird, Leatherback Siren, Jara Z, good to see everyone. Freaky Feline, how are you doing? Hello, hello. Today is hopefully going to be a longer stream. We've got enough charge on the battery to last at least until 5 o'clock. We're back at the bonebed site today. It's going to look a little bit different. Just check this out. Just put the shade tarps up right before lunch. It's a little cloudy at the moment, but you'll see when we get some full-on sun just how nice it is to have these shade tarps up. I don't know. I'm a big believer in shade tarps in the field. I know not everybody is, but it's really nice when you can work not under direct blazing sunlight, especially when it gets hotter in the latter part of the summer. And looks cut down a lot. I think that's just, Claire, what you're seeing is a new perspective with the shade tarps there. It's not like the rock walls really moved that far back. We're making progress. And a nice jacket there, Taya.
Thank you.
Excellent.
I'm gonna have to do another small batch of plaster for this guy over here, but...
Nice. We're expecting some rain either tomorrow or over the weekend or both. So it's really nice to... That's some peace of mind getting that stuff covered.
Yeah.
So, nice. Yeah.
Also broke off that rib that was sticking out over here.
Yeah.
Because it was becoming a little too big.
Yeah. Sometimes you got to do that, especially with ribs, you know. We're not one of those crews where they refuse to collect ribs. I know some crews do that. Ribs are important too, you know. But anyhow, how are you doing, Denver?
Pretty good.
Yeah. What do we got going on over here? Shoot. So that's a Dakota Raptor wishbone, right?
They're all Dakota Raptor wishbones.
Including the tooth. Nice.
This is a little area that Laura was working, but she went home yesterday. So so I'm getting around it so that we can make a jacket.
Nice.
But we've got this bone, which maybe a sacral rib, might be something a bit more interesting. And of course a great big tyrannosaur tooth wedged in there.
Yeah.
And then a little vertebra here, which is quite interesting looking.
Come around the other side and get a better view, if that's okay. Nice, yeah. Excellent.
And then a big rib head.
Okay, yeah. Beautiful. I know everybody loves the tyrannosaur teeth, so get a close-up of that. But yeah, good stuff. Very cool.
You can move the foil if you want to see what's under the foil.
Ooh.
Could be more exciting.
Ha! Big old vert. This is a caudal?
Yep.
Yeah, one of the tail vertebrae. So that backward sweeping neural spine there. There's the vertebral centrum, which is the central body of the vertebra. This is from a duck.
Yep.
Yeah, which That's our slang for hadrosaur. Sorry. Yeah. Not from a literal duck, from a duck-billed dinosaur. I say that almost in a disappointed way. It's not, but yeah, duck-billed dinosaurs are really cool. And we have one of the world experts on duck-billed dinosaurs. Over there in the purple is Liz Friedman Fowler. I'll talk to her in a bit. This is why you show up early to the stream, everybody. Get to see the cool stuff right at the beginning. But yeah. Okay, and I'm glad I clarified that it's not a duck like member of Anatidae, not the bird. Because apparently a few people in the chat were confused. So yeah, duck-billed dinosaur vertebra. That's a bit bigger than the tail vertebra of any duck that you can find today. Nice. Thanks, Derek. Cool beans. Yeah, it's funny how different the quarry looks with the shade top. And here comes that sun. Nice. This can easily keep us probably 10 degrees cooler? I don't know. Is that not generous enough?
You definitely feel the difference.
Yeah. Yeah. Good stuff. Shade tarps are important.
The tarp and wood and rope method.
Right, yeah.
Which, most people haven't adopted. Most people still use the metal frames and the solid tarps, but those catch the wind really easy and move around a lot.
I have seen the mesh tarps used with the metal conduit poles before, but that seems to be the rarest combination. But yeah, there's lots of different ways to put up shade tarps. And
benefit of the wood is that towards the end of a dig, when you're closing the site down, you can saw up the wood and use it for support on your jackets.
Exactly, yeah.
So you don't have to carry it home that way.
Mm-hmm.
That's why
and it also doesn't heat up in the sun. So in Utah, conduit gets blazingly hot, and people have literally burned themselves on it before. So
I mean, I've not used conduit. They did try it on the quarry that's right opposite us, and we watched it bouncing across the landscape one year as the wind caught it.
Was that Carey Scout?
No, it was a private dig. You can still see the wreckage of it over there.
Wait, they left it down there?
Yeah, it's been there for about 2 or 3 years. It's just this crumpled mass of like bent poles.
Commercial outfits.
Yeah.
Jeez.
It took off.
Wow. It's the kind of weather you get out here. Shoot.
I swear by these things, but you know that they sell them as privacy tarps, and you can get them in all different percentages of cover. So I buy the 75 or 85% cover ones.
Nice, yeah.
And this one, you know, one of these is about $75, something like that.
So you can see these have been very well loved. Missing some grommets, got holes in it, but you know, this is not a super hospitable environment out here, so stuff does tend to get a bit damaged.
People work harder in the shade.
Yeah, that's true. Use less water, concentrate more, have fewer hallucinations, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Overall, they're a lot happier and they maybe get more done.
Yeah, yeah.
I know I'm certainly a lot happier with shade.
Yeah. But yeah, happy Denver, happy crew, as we always say.
Do we?
Well, not to your face, sir. I'm sorry. I've missed working with Denver. It's been really nice to be back. Denver's one of the people who trained me how to do field work back in 2011 during my first season out with Museum of the Rockies. So it's been a nice little reunion here. But yeah, you can see our ragtag bunch of tarps here. It takes a bit of work to put them up every morning, but yeah, I don't know, you just kind of lay them down across the quarry at night when you get back to camp and then stand them back up during the day.
We don't even lay them down anymore, we just let them be.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
And amazingly, they survive the wind.
That's impressive, shoot. I guess that's the advantage of a mesh tarp like that.
Well, yeah, and that's why you don't nail it directly to the sediment. That's what a lot of people want to do. They're like, oh, nail it directly to the hill so it'll not have the gap. No, you need the gap so that when the wind comes, the wind can escape. Because if you tie it straight to the back, then the wind just rips it to heck.
Makes sense,
and
yeah.
destroys your shade tarp.
Cool, thanks, Liz.
Found them?
Something out of the bubble pile.
Let's see, who else we got here in the chat?
Where was it?
I don't know if it was something.
Yeah, we're lucky enough to have been missed by this heat wave so far. It's what, in the 60s or probably low 70s today up here in northern Montana? It doesn't quite get as hot up here as it gets in places like Utah, where I'm going to be working in a few weeks. That'll be mid-July. I'll be up there, or down there rather, near Moab. And it'll be, shoot, I checked the forecast today. I think it's going to be about 99 today at our other fields when I work with the Utah Geological Survey out there near Moab. So it's probably going to be really hot this summer. We got so lucky last year, but this year it's going to be maybe a little hellish. But you get used to it. After a few days of acclimation, you know, you just adjust. Yeah. And thank you, Claire. Yeah. 90. I think it's hotter near Moab, but yeah. Anyhow. Yeah. How are you doing, Devin? Can we get you on camera?
Pretty good.
Yeah.
Did you guys know that if you have an Amazon Prime account, you can subscribe to the Twitch channel for free?
That's true, yeah. What do we call that? Twitch Prime, yeah.
Twitch Prime, yeah. So just a reminder, I know we all have Amazon Prime. Go be sure to, I would tell you to like, comment, subscribe, but I don't know if that translates to Twitch, but be sure to use your Amazon Prime. It's free for viewers.
Yeah, shoot, I appreciate it. This is Devin. Denver just picked him up from the airport today. Another guy from Wisconsin. Can we call you Scotties, or is that offensive?
I think that's fine, you know,
Okay,
especially
okay.
you've been to Wisconsin before.
Oh,
so.
yeah. I spent a lot of time in Dane County, so yeah.
Very cool.
Anyway, Devin doesn't have a background in paleo. He's one of the cool people who is just here because he can be. So
yeah, I would highly recommend it. Yeah, it's too late for our applications for this year, but next year I'm sure she'll be taking applications sometime in January.
Yeah. So anyway,
We've been here 3 hours. We haven't broken them yet.
We'll get to him soon. Yeah.
I'm shamelessly shilling for you. And you
I appreciate that, Devin. Yeah.
It's true. Devin qualifies for all 4 questions that we asked.
I know. I think he's got a good shot at it because he's very computery.
Yeah, stats. He's actually a stats guy.
Exactly. So he should.
Attention to detail.
I mean, you could put him on the spot, ask him right now, and then also Danny's chat could try and figure it out.
Oh.
All the new people will be able to do some espionage.
True. The questions for new people are supposed to be like secret and surprising.
You don't have to do all of them. Just do one.
Okay.
Okay.
In the
Explain what
movie
this
of
is first.
In the movie of the field season,
Yeah. Oh,
this is the first question. Who would play you and why? And the only condition is they have to be alive. So I'm played by Tom Jones, and he sings all of his lines.
What movie is this?
This is the movie of the field season.
Yeah. If they were to cast a movie based on this field season, who would play you in the movie?
Ron Weasley.
No, like an
He's a
actual.
character.
Well, I don't know. Who plays Ron Weasley? I don't know the actor's name.
Oh, okay.
Well, there's the new one now, though, isn't there?
No, that doesn't exist.
Rupert Grint.
Yeah, there we go.
okay.
That's the name.
Yeah. And then Tom Jones for.
Wales. Yes, I believe so.
Cool. Yeah.
It's Britain's greatest singing exports.
Yeah. I remember for the Diamond Jubilee, he sang Delilah to the Queen, and she swooned. She didn't really swoon.
Yeah. I really don't know many actors or anything like that, really. So I was like, oh, I don't know.
This crew knows like a bunch of films. So.
Yeah. So this Denver, this is actually like a running joke on my channel. Is different new chatters will show up and they go, "Oh, you look just like this actor." I've got like 50 different people, and they like run the gamut from. It's crazy, like the diversity.
So we've got to guess who they think you look like. This might not work out well for you. I mean, right now I'm thinking Guy Fawkes.
Is that a ticking I hear? I hear ticking somewhere.
Yeah. Are those chopping boards? No, those are butt pads under Denver's butt.
Good guess, though.
Yeah.
There's a yellow one. Yellow ones are they're made out of this, you're probably familiar with this kind of foam, but the yellow ones don't heat up in the sun, whereas the dark green ones are a more rubbery kind of foam. They heat up in the sun, so you might not like them as much.
Unless it's cold out.
But wonderful things. They can cost surprisingly weird amounts of money.
Yeah, yeah.
I buy them by like 20 at a time when they're on special for like $8.
Nice. Yeah.
So you pay like, some places like charge $40 for these green ones.
Yeah,
It
it's
was
nuts.
insane.
Mm-hmm.
I got these on special, so I just look like a lunatic buying like 20 odd of these things. It's how many knees have you got? But they don't last forever. They have a habit of...
Tendency to rip out sometimes. I've had that happen before. We
Yeah,
we had to duct tape them, yeah. Yeah, because I got you all those Fiskars ones from Home Depot. The they're thinner foam, but they're pretty good. They're green. They don't heat up, but they do tend to tear.
yeah, when you open them like this, you tear them in half, as I recall.
I did not do that. I think that was Jacob Gardner. Yeah. Anywho. Let's see.
You could try sitting on chopping boards, it might work.
I have a separate meat and vegetables one for the carnivores and the vegetarians. Yeah, nice. Here, let me show you, early chatters, what I've been working on, which is a whole lot of nothing over here. This might look interesting, and if you're a paleobotanist, maybe it is, but, you know, big chunk of wood right here, and you can see how there's little bits of charcoal underneath. It's carbonized plant material. So, this looks like a bone, but it's not. There have been some cool little teeth and stuff, and what I really wanted to be a ceratopsian episquamosal or epiparietal earlier, but I already foiled that up and put it away. It probably won't be what it turns into, but, you know, a guy can dream. Yeah, so not a whole lot over here. This has been, well, and I only work for, you know, basically we get here at what, like 9:30 in the morning, and then, well, then I start streaming at 2, so I have not as much time to work as I would like, but oh well, I really can't complain. But Tay's been finding all kinds of amazing stuff over here.
Yeah. I can sort of move it out of the way. You can move the paper towel now.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
It does not need to be there anymore.
Okay, cool. This is not
protect-
separated, it's just to keep the...
Yeah.
Yeah, what's under here? Nice. Some ribbage.
Yeah. So that's the rest of the rib that was sticking out.
Right.
Into that area you're now sitting in.
Nice. Some kind of dinosaur, presumably. I'm not an expert on ribs, but
Maybe.
yeah, that would make sense, yeah.
It's pretty classic.
Doesn't look like a pterosaur rib, I can say that much. But, yeah, cool. And then we've got other elements in here. Is this the big metatarsal under this one?
Humerus.
Oh, humerus! Oh,
Yeah,
shoot.
So
Yeah.
the condyles, so where the radius and ulna would articulate,
Yeah.
are in that corner there, the left-hand side.
Nice. Yeah. So elbow
Yeah.
and shoulder up here.
Yeah, the deltopectoral crest is actually...
That's right here?
Yeah.
Nice, yeah. Cool.
I'm not sure where the condyles are.
Mm-hmm.
But it seems to extend up to, or along that back wall, and there's
Okay.
another like rib or tendon parallel that.
Nice.
Dinosaur humor, I can get very long as well.
Yeah. Do they get longer than Saurolophine humeri?
I think relative, maybe not longer absolutely, but they're
Yeah.
relatively more elongate.
Uh-huh.
And that might belong to the same Gryposaurs at the other end of the quarry, but
Uh-huh.
we did actually get a humerus from that same end of the quarry last year.
Yeah.
It was in one of the notches that's in the quarry wall right now, so
Yeah.
this one might be associated.
Okay. Yeah.
It's nice to think there might be a whole hadrosaur coming out across the quarry, but I'd rather have one at this end than another one at that end.
Yeah. Better to have two than one, I guess. Yeah. Yeah. Nice. Maybe I'll get the hadrosaur diagram and we'll ask Liz about various parts of it, but... Oh, but we got a... Max Devlin, that question, shoot. What's your favorite dinosaur from each stage in the Triassic, the Jurassic, and the Cretaceous?
That's to you, Denny.
We're gonna
It
need
is to me.
dono for that answer. At least a $10 dono in the chat.
You know, Devin here should be streaming. My goodness.
I'm a shameless capitalist.
Well, you don't need a dinosaur from like the first half of the Triassic, because there aren't
No.
any, right?
Well,
Oh, my fancy
the Triassic is weird though, because oh, what is this?
Canadian brew house wipe that I
Oh,
just
nice, okay.
swapped. Yeah.
I mean,
Excellent, representing. Is your bandana also maple leaves?
Yeah.
thought it was.
Yeah.
There we go. Yeah, don't let Border Patrol see that.
I guess my favorite Triassic dinosaur has to be Theodontosaurus.
Okay, yeah.
Because of my time at Bristol. That's the Bristol dinosaur in the UK.
Uh-huh.
It's like a little prosauropod.
Yeah, yeah.
Basal sauropodomorph, depending on your clado tendencies.
Mm-hmm.
And, yeah, it's a cute little thing.
Uh-huh.
I prepped a whole bunch of Theodontosaurus material
Mm-hmm.
back when I was doing my master's degree.
Oh, cool.
So,
Is that the only known specimen?
no, there's loads of them.
Oh, shoot.
There's lots of Theodontosaurus material because they used to live on these little tropical islands
Uh-huh.
that had karst landscapes, so limestone fissures. I think
Yeah,
it was
yeah.
Permian
Sinkholes and caves and
limestone. I
stuff.
could be wrong about that.
Yeah.
And yeah, they're all fissures and sinkholes and caves. So they're actually cave deposits.
Oh,
They're cave
wild.
deposits where dinosaurs fell down. Partly fell down into the caves or died and their bones were washed into the caves.
Yeah.
And so you have wild cave stratigraphy where cave stratigraphy is nuts because it's not simple layers. It's
Yeah.
like layers will build up and then the cave will collapse and you'll end up with everything jumbled up.
Weird.
It's there's loads of these fissure fills, they're called. And so there's dozens and dozens and dozens of specimens of Theodontosaurus probably.
That's really cool because I remember remember those old dinosaurs magazines from the 90s? There was an illustration of Theodontosaurus like falling into a cave, but it was in like a mountain landscape. And I was always really confused by that. I'm like, they're just making this up, right? I didn't realize it.
They don't have caves in mountains.
I know, right? Yeah, it was.
That's in Lord of the Rings. It's all made up. It's Theco, yeah, little prosauropod.
Uh-huh. Really cool. Yeah. That's
And
a good
they keep cleaning up more and more of it at Bristol.
Uh-huh.
I think it deserves a bit more publicity than it gets, really, because Theco was
Honestly,
I believe it was one of the first 4 dinosaurs to make up the Dinosauria.
Because it was Megalosaurus, then Iguanodon, then Hylaeosaurus.
Theco, I think. Up a bit like this, but
It'd be what, Carnian or Norian?
it's right around the boundary of the two. I want to say Carnian and Norian.
Okay. So you've got one down, about 45 to go.
I think of the Norian, we'll say Plateosaurus. That gets us into.
Okay.
You don't get any ornithischians for a bit. I think the earliest ornithischians are like Scelidosaurus.
Right, yeah, because things like
Heterodonto.
Pisanosaurus and stuff, they might be silosaurs, which may or may not be ornithischians. It's yeah. I asked Richard Butler about that, and he's like, "Oh." That seems to be the consensus overall. Whether or not silosaurs are ornithischian dinosaurs, like, I don't know. So yeah. Anyway, that's good enough for now. We'll come back. Next up. Cool. But yeah. Let me go get some water before I forget. But it's good to have everybody here. And again, let me know if you've got any questions. That's the whole point of these streams. The whole reason I bring this satellite dish out and broadcast from the middle of nowhere here. I get 0 cell reception in this spot. You kind of need to have Verizon if you're going to be in Montana, I guess. I never got it, even when I lived here for a better part of a decade. I've got Google Fi, which is, I think it mostly uses the T-Mobile network. I really like it, but you don't get cell reception a whole lot out here. Hence, a satellite dish, which is excellent.
Yeah, I did it once 2 years ago. So
And Plasma Banana says, do you go into a dig hoping to get a particular dinosaur, or just whatever the area yields? Well, in this case, there's a whole bunch of stuff kicking out of this site, not just dinosaurs, but we've got various fishes, both bony fishes and cartilaginous fishes, like sharks and rays, all from a freshwater environment. There's bits of amphibian, there's mammal jaws and teeth from this site. There's plants and bits of clam and other invertebrate like this, maybe some snaily things. This is a lovely little snapshot of what this ancient environment was like, and they want to get whatever they can out of here. But there are a few things that would be particularly cool. Denver was talking about how he really wanted to get a Chasmosaurine ceratopsid, so a horned dinosaur with the big frill from this site that would potentially answer some important questions. So eventually we'll get something out of this. There's a long way to work here. So there's the quarry wall right now as it stands. But 5 years ago, Les was saying it started about here or so. So they dug all of this back with small hand tools over the past 5 years. And then we that far back to the wall over there now. We had the excavator come and clear away a lot of this overburden. So this is beautiful to see, just all of this fossiliferous stuff underneath. This is going to be a multi-year site. It's exciting stuff. Yeah. Anywho, yeah. And Crimson, oh boy. Yeah. Yeah, the meadowlark, Lenina. Oh, I've not been able to get a good picture of a meadowlark, but what I need to do, because they're so skittish, I can't get close enough to get a good photo. But I need to take a video and upload it to iNaturalist, because usually it just takes the audio from that. And it's such a distinctive call that I should be able to log it. So I really want that. I want a meadowlark on iNaturalist. Yeah. Anyhow. What a lovely call. Yeah, Lenina. I guess there's a reason why 12 different states have the western meadowlark as their state bird, including Montana and North Dakota, and I think Kansas. Who else has the meadowlark as their state bird? Somebody look it up. It is popular. You know, the U.S. has more than 50 bird species. You would think each state could pick a different state bird, but that's not how these things work, apparently. I said I was going to get some water. Let me do that. And Nebraska, North Dakota, Oregon, and Wyoming. I forgot about Wyoming, yeah. So this summer I will have worked in 2 different states that have the western meadowlark as their state bird. That's funny. The next field work I'm going to be doing is in Utah. Does anybody know state bird? It's a funny one. And Lenina, Texas could do better than the mockingbird, though. They should go with your boat-tail grackle, Lenina. Yeah. And Link for Real says seagull, but what kind? What kind of gull is the state bird of Utah? Yeah, the California gull is the state bird of Utah. Fun fact, there's 3 different states that have a California bird as their state bird. California has the California quail. Utah has the California gull. And I think Arizona has the greater roadrunner, which is, what, Geococcyx californica, if I remember correctly. So, yeah. Oh, from Princeton, do we know what pterosaurs mostly ate? Were they good fishermen? Did it just depend on the species? So different types of pterosaur would have eaten different foods. There's some that seem maybe adapted for catching and eating insects. You often see depictions of like Anurognathus, this little froggy mouth type little pterosaur going after bugs. Some of them certainly did eat fish or other marine life. We think probably Pteranodon was doing that. Rhamphorhynchus seems probably adapted for eating fish, I would imagine, with those pronathous teeth. And then you get other pterosaurs like the Asdarchids, and they are probably spending a lot of their time on the ground, walking around, and as big as some of them were, like Quetzalcoatlus, they're like this tall as a giraffe. They were probably just walking around eating whatever they wanted to. Maybe like baby dinosaurs, maybe fish, maybe just whatever they could get into their beak, really. Like a giant marabou stork on 4 legs. It's an interesting thought. Although, I think some of that might be a little overstated, because you look at the body of a critter like Quetzalcoatlus, and it's pretty darn small. So it's an animal the size of a giraffe, but its torso is smaller than mine. And so it wouldn't be able to eat a whole lot, because its rib cage isn't very big, you know? So yeah. Anywho. Oh, and that would be really cool, and a golden-cheeked warbler, that would be nice. Yeah. Yeah. I don't know, I think the utility of state birds, state fossils, state dinosaurs, whatever, is that it gives people in that state a certain degree of local pride about whatever that critter is. So like school kids will learn about something and get excited about it because it's one of their state emblems. And like when 12 different states have the mockingbird or the western meadowlark or the northern cardinal, it's a missed opportunity. You know, you should have something more unique, something that's more emblematic of your state. Yeah. And hey, Ellie Bunnies, welcome, welcome. Good to have you here. I live in Florida. Our state bird is the cockroach. Is that true, leatherback siren? No, what is Florida's state bird? Oh, Liz would probably know. Liz is from Florida. Here, is she on the phone? Let's see.
Yeah, how big is the machine? It's quite big. It's a really fancy. Okay. It's a big department for the whole city built. It's like great things that can cut, custom cut, like these shapes.
I think Liz might be on the phone right now. Oh, you're not on the phone. You're holding your glasses. Sorry.
Oh, yeah.
Liz, what's the state bird of Florida?
Thinking of doing that for a business, so I thought,
Mockingbird.
Is it?
Yeah.
Florida has so many cool birds. How did they get stuck with a mockingbird?
I know.
That's really disappointing. Shoot.
Yep.
Well, we've got some Floridians in the chat. They want to say hi.
Hello.
What part of Florida are you from, and how'd you end up in Montana? And
Lake-
then North Dakota?
Central Florida.
Okay.
Between
Yeah.
Tampa and Orlando.
Yeah.
I'm here for the dinosaurs.
There we go. Yeah. Don't have a lot of them in Florida. In fact, not even many fossil birds.
Well, not older than like the Miocene.
Yeah. Although there's one very cool fossil bird that I think has only been found in Texas and Florida. You know who I'm talking about?
Titanus?
Titanus. Yeah. That's a cool one. Yeah.
Yeah, no, there is one Cretaceous fossil known from
Really?
Florida.
I didn't know there was that many.
One.
Is it an invertebrate?
No, it's a piece of turtle shell
Oh,
from a
okay.
drill core.
Very cool.
That's the only way you can hit the Cretaceous in Florida.
Funny.
Is you have to
I'm surprised
drill.
I didn't learn that. I bought the Roadside Geology of Florida book.
Yeah. Well, it's definitely not roadside.
Which, like at first I purchased that book and
Geology of Florida?
like when I got it, I'm like, is this going to be a blank book? Is this a prank?
Right?
Yeah. But no, it's really well written. I would recommend it. Yeah.
Okay.
It's interesting stuff, but they really do reach. You know, they've got like several whole pages on extant sea turtles in the Roadside Geology of
Gotta
Florida
fill
book.
that.
So there, yeah. But it's good. I could recommend it. Yeah. Can we bug you in a few minutes with a hadrosaur skeleton diagram and we could talk about? Okay, cool. Thanks, Liz. Yeah. As I was saying earlier, Liz is one of the world authorities on duck-billed dinosaurs. She's even named a couple of new ones. So we could talk about that in a few minutes. If you got duck-billed dinosaur questions, get those ready. An agate coral is the state fossil of Florida, though. Yeah, Alexander. Which they could do better, you know? Nothing against corals. They're important. But Florida does have some cool fossils. There's just not a lot of dinosaur fossils. Avian or non-avian. And Akira Clip says, what signatures in the rocks indicate a meteorite impact? Oh, if you're talking about the KPG boundary... we should get the Wikipedia article for that pulled up. KPG boundary, or the Chicxulub crater. But anyway, it's a really cool story, the discovery of that impact. It's one of the, I think, more exciting like detective stories in geology and paleontology. But anyway, dinosaurs went extinct at a particular time, all of them except for birds. At the end of the Cretaceous, it's a pretty dramatic kind of disappearance of dinosaurs, plesiosaurs, mosasaurs, etc. Seems very sudden in the rock record. And the more people studied it, the more it seemed more and more sudden. This wasn't like a gradual transition. And it wasn't a question of missing time, so that like, oh, anything could have happened in that 10 million year blank spot. No, this is, something happened really suddenly. And yeah, there was a father-son team, Louis and Walter Alvarez. Louis Alvarez actually worked on the Manhattan Project as a physicist. And then his son, Walter Alvarez, was a geologist, both of them in the San Francisco Bay Area, where I'm from. And so, at one point, the son, the geologist, Walter, he got up into the end of the Cretaceous, and he found, like, right there at the boundary between the Cretaceous and what we now call the Paleogene period, there's this weird, like, clay layer. And it just seemed really strange, so he took some samples of that and was studying them in the laboratory and found that they had elevated levels of iridium in it. So it's an element that's very rare on the Earth's surface. It's a bizarre kind of element. It's got 77 protons. Rare on the Earth, very common in space rocks. And so he wanted to figure out, like, well, was this the impact of a space rock, or is this just like very slow deposition, so like over time a lot of iridium could very, very slowly accumulate? So they did some dating and they figured out that it didn't represent a lot of time. This was like a sudden thing that happened and boom, there's like, I think it's like 60 times as much iridium as there is normally. Oh, the asteroid impact. And so the question then became, where did it hit? Started finding other weird things around the same time in the 1980s. They started to find what we call tektites, which are tiny, like, they're almost like glass beads that would rain down from the sky after you get like an asteroid impact. You know, all this molten crud gets thrown up into the atmosphere and then it rains down as like, you know, little molten beads. And then people started finding tsunami deposits too, kind of around the Gulf of Mexico area, places like the Brazos River in Texas. So like clearly something had hit nearby, caused these massive tsunamis, right there at the very end of the Cretaceous. And then they found the crater. It's named after the local like seaside town on the Yucatan Peninsula of Mexico. That's called Chicxulub is the name of the town. I think it might be Nahuatl, the language. But anyway, yeah, it was like people exploring for oil were mapping the ocean floor there, and they just found this big rim of the crater. And I think it's a couple 100 miles wide or something. It's very, very big. So it would correspond to an object about 6 or 7 miles across, like about the size of San Francisco. And yeah, there's been tons of work done in this since then, and it all points toward an asteroid impacting at that site 66 million years ago, at the same time that you get the disappearance of the non-bird dinosaurs and a bunch of their friends. Ammonites, plesiosaurs, mosasaurs, a bunch of plant species, a bunch of micro-invertebrates and stuff all died off then. So we've got really solid evidence now of that asteroid impact, and there's a pretty strong consensus about it now. So yeah. Really neat story. And there's an excellent book about it that was written a while ago called T-Rex and the Crater of Doom, I think by Walter Alvarez. And I got to meet him last spring. Let me show you that photo. This would have been in April, I believe. April. Let's see, this is on my way out to St. George.
Yeah, this is fun for a weekend. But
yeah, there we go. There's me and Walter Alvarez. I'll show you in the shade. There you go. Yeah. So that was pretty cool. Really, really famous scientist. If there was a Nobel Prize in geology, then he might have been eligible for it. But we don't have that kind of a thing, you know? Our work has to speak for itself. Yeah. And there you go, Cold Drake. Yeah, we probably would get more impacts if the moon weren't catching some of those things, but I don't know if it catches most of them, but it catches a few for sure. All those craters. Yeah. You can see certain parts of the ring. There you go, Dirt or Bust. Yeah, really neat. Cool stuff. Here, let's get that hadrosaur diagram out. Let's go bug Liz. Bingo. Yeah. Here's a hadrosaur, a duck-billed dinosaur. And this is this Gripposaurus here? I don't have it labeled.
Not on the side I'm looking at.
Okay, yeah. So this is one of your babies.
Yeah.
Tell us about bed up near Rudyard.
So one of my dissertation sites was a bone bed of Gripposaurus.
Yeah.
And what's cool about that site, we had at least 10 individuals, and almost all of them were juveniles and subadults, a little like yearlings, and then the subadults were maybe like 3 years old.
Yeah. Did they all seem to have lived in a group, potentially? Or maybe it was...
Well, presumably. I mean, they all ended
or...
up in the same dead pile with a lot of tyrannosaur teeth. And there's just one super rare adult. It's massive. So, like, we have the little juvenile size class, and we have the subadult size class, like, you know, teenagers.
Yeah.
And then there is one jawbone, a serrangular, that's like, it's huge. And a really big rib head. And so out of 800 bones, there are 2 that belong to the big guy. And then all of the others are pretty small individuals, which is interesting.
So would this be as big as the, you know, that Gripposaurus mount they have in Salt Lake? That's Monumentensis, right?
Yeah, so that's like a full adult, yeah.
Is it that big, or you think it was bigger, your big one?
Monumentensis could be a little bigger. I mean, they do get bigger than that holotype.
Yeah.
They're a pretty big-bodied hadrosaur.
They would have been the biggest animal in that environment, right?
Well, we'd have to get into a ceratopsian body size thing.
Fair.
But yeah, a big Gripposaurus is big.
Yeah.
And we have one from this bone bed. Its skull is massive. I mean, we just have the brain case part of it, but just the width.
Just for the brain case?
Yeah, so just the width from eye socket to eye socket, like the top of the roof, is this wide. And so the entire thing, the length, if we had it all complete, like it would just...
Wouldn't it?
Yeah, the maxilla is huge. The maxilla...
That's nuts. Jeez.
It's a very big individual.
Yeah.
Yeah, we probably have quite a lot of it now. We've got a few different parts of the skull and most of the limb bones at this point.
Yeah.
So...
Cool. Yeah.
That one's a bit scattered. He's somewhat... So, like, the legs were in the general vicinity of where they should be, but it's pretty spread apart, that one. Yeah.
So with duck-billed dinosaurs, I mean, their skulls get all the attention because that's the most flashy part that seems to evolve the fastest.
Right, it's the diagnostic part. The rest of them, like, a hadrosaur's back there. It's not super different.
Although Denver was saying that the humeri can vary in length.
Yeah. There are in your 2 major groups of hadrosaurs, the Lambeosaurines and the Saurolophines.
Yeah.
You do get some skeletal differences. So, like, there's a difference in the size of the delta pectoral crest of the humerus.
Okay.
So, like, how gracile versus robust it is.
Yeah.
You have a different shape at the
they've
base
got a
of the
prong on the
ischium
Lambeosaurs,
here.
right? Yeah.
So there are a few differences between the 2 major groups, but getting more detailed than that, like postcranial differences in all this between different genera or species, really uncommon.
Interesting. Okay.
There's a few little weirdnesses, like Maiasaura and Brachylophosaurus, that little family group. They have a ridge on the bottom of their toes.
Interesting.
And so if you find one of the foot claws, if it has a ridge on the bottom, you know it's Maiasaura or Brachylophosaurus clade.
Interesting. Do they form?
The others don't.
Is there a possibility they form an anagenetic lineage?
Not with Maiasaura. Maiasaura definitely branches off. So Brachylophosaurus is doing kind of an anagenetic genetic thing. So we have
one of your babies.
Well, multiple. So Ornithop. Well, no, actually Ornithopsis is the higher one. But Probrachylophosaurus. So Acrostavis below that, no crest whatsoever. Then Probrachylophosaurus has a little bit of a crest sticking out the back of the skull. And then Brachylophosaurus has a longer crest coming out the back. And then Ornithopsis gets that a little bit bigger.
Interesting.
So we have a really nice genetic lineage of that. And then at some point in that ancestry, Maiasaura goes off sideways.
Interesting. Okay.
So that's interesting why Maiasaura split off and did something different.
Cool. Can you explain to the chat why duck-billed dinosaurs are the best dinosaurs?
Well, they're really common, which is nice.
Yeah.
You find a lot of juveniles of them, so if you want small dinosaurs that are very manageable in size, and I mean, sauropods are a nightmare. Never pick up sauropods. Like a juvenile hadrosaur, you can fit the whole thing. It's adorable.
Yeah.
So yeah, you get the full size ranges, so you can do so much with their ontogeny of how they're growing. So as the species develops, from baby to nestling to juvenile and adult, and then also because they're really common, we can look evolutionarily at them, how they're changing over stratigraphic time. So it's just a fantastic
sample size.
Exactly, the sample size.
You'll never find any critters with a better sample size than that. Certainly not diatoms. Diatoms attack. Thank you for the raid. It's good to have you here. We have a diatom scientist also here on Twitch who just raided in.
Diatoms are beautiful. They're beautiful. Yeah.
Very cool. Would these guys have eaten diatoms?
Well, if they're eating near a pond, if they go for some pond weed, they're going to pick up diatoms, absolutely.
There you go. I'm trying to make things relevant to the people raiding in, with diatoms on the brain.
They'll ingest some diatoms, sure.
Yeah. Cool. Thanks, Liz. Yeah, appreciate it. Nate?
Yeah. So, that's our guy.
Yeah. These are I've got some other visual aids, but it's nice to be able to just show these.
Oh, absolutely.
On all of that.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's, good stuff.
Yeah.
Oh. Ooh.
I can get in the sun.
Sure. Yeah, let's get
the magnifying glass out, too. Ooh, Dromaeosaur? Dromaeosaur, right?
Your eyes are better than mine.
Yeah, I don't see huge tentacles, so I wouldn't say troodontid. But yeah, little Dromaeosaur, very nice. Cool. Yeah, so chat, a Dromaeosaur is a Velociraptor is part of this family, which is actually Deinonychus if you're watching the Jurassic Park movies. But we won't get into that right now. But yeah, really cool, Denver. Where did that come from?
Yeah, it's right where I'm digging.
Nice.
Just in the gravel layer at the bottom.
Yeah. Awesome. Well, appreciate you showing that to us, Denver. Oh, and OK2Play says, in that diagram, the tail looks so long. Was it for balance as it walked?
Yeah, definitely.
What do you think about facultative bipedality in these critters? Do you think that's a thing? So, chat, that's like whether they could run on two legs when they feel like it, when they're normally walking on all four.
I think they probably could.
It makes a lot of sense. The hind limbs are so much longer.
Like, when needed. I'm not saying that they're running miles like that. Yeah. No, but...
To escape a predator or something.
Yeah, I mean, you can rise up on your hind legs and do various behaviors.
Yeah. I often do. Yeah, I enjoy exhibiting behaviors.
Yeah.
And tell us about the tendons.
Yeah, so the tail is quite long, and it does help kind of counterbalance the body weight. And you can see that lattice of tendons, and they're actually ossified tendons, so they the stress on those tendons is such that it turns to bone.
Really cool. So about what growth stage do you get that ossifying? Because they don't start off with it as bone, right?
No, because you need time to have enough stress, all the stress and exercise and pulling on those tendons. That's what's causing them to start converting into bone.
Yeah.
But we have a small specimen, trying to think like body size wise, but like his tail is like that long.
Okay.
And he's already has the tendons.
We're talking about a critter at least 3 meters long, like 10 feet or so.
Yeah, about that size, about 10 feet long. It already has the ossified tendons.
And that would also help just stiffen the spine so that it would be more easier for them to be able to rear up on their hind legs and run without the front end.
Yeah, so you've got different biomechanical engineering principles, something Denver's working on with one of our volunteers who's an engineer.
Nice.
Looking at how that helps strengthen the spine for counterbalancing your weight.
Right, yeah.
Things like that.
Yeah. Cool. Yeah, thanks, Liz. I'll let you get back to work, but appreciate it. It's always nice to talk about hadrosaurs. And I think we have Filippo in the chat, too.
Oh, hi, Filippo.
Yeah, hope you're doing well.
Yeah. Denver found a caudal, but it's not pathologic, so.
Okay.
It's a little too distal in the tail.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
we tend to see the broken tails right there.
Right, yeah.
And the one Denver found is more back here.
Gotcha.
So.
Yeah.
But we always keep an eye out. There is one from this quarry that has a tail
How can you
break.
tell how distal it is? Is it the orientation of the neural spine?
Yeah. The size of the neural spine up here, so the size, the shape, and then how far back it's pointed. So these are pointed pretty straight up. And then as you get back there, they start really sweeping backwards
Gotcha,
quite a lot.
Cool. Nice, Liz. Yeah, nice. But yeah, again, Diatom's Attack, I know you had to run, but thank you again for the raid. Really appreciate it. It's good to have you here. And let me know if anybody who came in with Diatom's Attack, welcome. My name is Danny Anduza. I'm a dinosaur paleontologist working with the Badlands Dinosaur Museum, Dakota. And we're here in northern Montana, kind of near the town of Havre. Won't even have a Taco Bell, if you can believe that. That's rural Montana for you. But yeah, we're digging up dinosaurs in the late Cretaceous, ostensibly Judith River Formation. But as we were talking with Denver the other day, this should probably be called the Dinosaur Park Formation here, because it more closely correlates with both the fauna and the strata that you find up in Canada. But yeah. And Rogan27, thank you for raiding in. I appreciate that. Welcome. I hope you had an excellent stream too. It's good to see you. Welcome to Paleontologizing. If you've got any questions about dinosaurs, about geology, about the history of our planet Earth and all the critters upon it, don't hesitate to ask. Welcome. This is my last day streaming from Montana this year. So get your questions in now. And welcome, Rogan. Thank you for joining us. Yeah, and Trick Tracks. Yeah, these are our shade tarps here at the site. So they keep us from going insane under the heat of the sun, which can be nice. So, yeah. And that's what's that, Timmer?
I was just saying today, I got another one just about identical to the...
Ooh, another dromaeosaur tooth?
Yeah,
nice.
It looks almost exactly the same. You probably think I'm just showing you the same one. I promise you it's different.
It does look different. It looks pointier.
Slightly bigger.
Yeah, nice. So let me get the magnifying glass out again. That's a tooth of a dromaeosaur. And there's a bug for scale. You all know how big a bug is. So yeah. Standard issue bug. Standard issue little dromaeosaur tooth. So it's a tooth from a dinosaur like Velociraptor. Nice little serrations on it too. Let's look at it from the other angle. Yeah. Beautiful.
How dramatically do they hook up, Danny?
The bug and the tooth?
No, the denticles, the serrations on the tooth. How
Oh.
much do they hook up towards the tip of the tooth?
Oh, let's see. It's hard to tell. I would say not super dramatically, maybe?
Well, that would be more like Dromaeosaurus then.
Oh, okay. Sauronitholestes has got more an upward
Very
sweep
dramatic.
to the denticles?
Yeah.
Interesting. Okay. You got a mosquito on your hand there, or is it another bug?
Yeah, these little bugs.
Oh, benign bug, yeah.
They're
Hey,
very
benign
keen-
bug.
Very keen on me at the moment.
I think they're just curious. Bugs are very smart, you know. I don't know that. They're all over your hat, too. Oh, they love it.
Color.
Yeah.
They like light-coloured high things.
Yep.
That's one of the things they like.
Nice. Very cool.
You ever tell your viewers about that photograph I've got of you all covered in ants?
The
You
Danny
remember that?
ants?
Yeah.
I remember my auntie Lynette, she left a comment on that on Facebook. She goes, "Danny, you look just like your father in that picture." I said, "You know you come from humble beginnings when someone says, you look just like your father in that picture," and it's the picture of you just covered in ants. But, yeah, that was a fun day. That was my first field season, 2011. Do you want to tell the story, Denver?
Well, we used to park the trucks at the top of the hill. This was right above Yoshi's trike, so that's
Yeah,
the big
yeah.
trike that's on display at Museum of the Rockies
With
now.
the huge brow horns.
And we were digging it up, and anyway, really hot it was, and we had the trucks parked at the top of the hill. And I do recall that Lee Hall was the one who made this decision, but thought it'd be really cool to keep the trucks a bit cooler.
Yeah.
We'd leave the windows open during the day.
Uh-huh.
But that day just happened to be ant prom night. And so towards the end of the day, all the ants start emerging, the winged ants from the nest, all the queens and the drones, and flying around. And what they usually do is they look for the highest point on the landscape, and that just so happened to be where we parked our trucks at the top of the cliff. And they were absolutely crawling with ants, and because they'd left the windows open, they were all inside the vehicle as well. And so Danny's standing on the back trying to shoo these ants off in the bed of the truck, but then he becomes the highest item in the landscape. And so he's got ants crawling all over his hat and all over his face. It was, we were just driving off going, go, get out of here. Once we got a little lower, they all buggered off to the highest point again.
Yep.
So.
Yeah. I volunteered to ride in the back of the truck that day because I was like the junior most crew member. Like, I'll take one for the team, and that was really taking one for the team that day. Do you have a high-res version of that photo? Because I'd love to get that and print it out.
Somewhere.
Nice.
If I took it. I think that one
No,
that one
Jens
was taken
took it.
by Jens, yeah.
Yeah, with his nice camera.
There's a version on my Facebook page that's probably pretty decent.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, you could do at least a 6x4.
Yeah, I'd love that. Maybe get it printed on canvas. One of my prouder moments, you know? Being by insects. What were you saying, Taya?
Oh, just trying to prove yourself when you're the most junior crew member. Like, I could do anything.
Exactly, yeah. Yep. And look where I am now, you know? Yeah. Oh, and you've got the photo somewhere, Claire? That'd be excellent, yeah. If you could DM me the link or send it to my email, I should get that printed up. I think that'd be fun. And Dr. Terminator says, I have a question. Do we know why does Displeosaurus have the biggest arms to body ratio of any Tyrannosaurid? That is a good question. I'm taking your word for it that it does. Because I don't know about that, I guess. I do wonder about that. Denver works on Tyrannosaurs. We can ask him about it. Let me get out the Daspletosaurus diagram. There we go. But yeah, look at those forelimbs. They've got a couple of Daspletosaur specimens back at the museum that are going to be very scientifically important once they're prepped out. And so Denver might have a view on that. We can ask him. But let me get some more water first. There we go. Trying to do all this one-handed is not always easy. There we go. Let's see. Goldrake says, is this ridge higher than the cliff over the last few days? Thinking of the egg nesting area before? Oh, that's a good question too. Here, let's go ask. Denver, we got a simple strat question for you. Is this higher or lower than the egg site over here?
I just found a Tyrannosaur too.
Oh.
This is higher than the egg site.
Gotcha.
The egg site, we haven't fully measured it yet. However, the very bottom of the cliffs here has a familiar triple bentonite layer, which is consistent across this area. And basically, you can see that at the egg site. The egg site sits maybe sort of 3 to 5 meters above that.
Okay.
So the egg site would probably be about 10 to 15 meters below us here.
Gotcha. Okay.
So it's actually in I would say the formation below. It's in what we would call the Upper Old Man Formation. And we're in the Dinosaur Park Formation.
Oh, so the egg site is Upper Old Man.
Yeah.
Oh, apologies to everybody that I lied to, saying it was Dinosaur Park equivalent.
Well, that's what.
Yeah.
And that I appreciate that. Like, we jump about a lot in the words that we use, but literally the boundary is here.
Really?
If you dig down like 2 meters, like you're in the old man.
Okay. Wow.
And the boundary's important because the dinosaur park here is in this valley fill.
Yeah.
But everything else would be called old man. And I think it explains why fossils are more rare in the old man, or good fossils, because for the most part it's probably a lower sedimentation rate.
Okay.
You get a lot more microcytes and things, but it's not got the same high sedimentation rate that Dinosaur Park does.
So it's less likely to big things if you've
Less
got a
likely
lower
to,
sedimentation rate.
So it also makes some sense the egg horizons are there because dinosaurs wouldn't want to lay their eggs in a wet swamp.
Sure.
But they like to lay them in a well-drained area, and those are more the conditions that we see in the upper old man.
And that's what we see at the egg site too. We've got like a paleosol there with roots going down and everything.
Exactly. You've got more stable land surfaces in the upper part of the old man. And it seems consistent with what we see in southern Alberta and the whole regional model. That actually fits really well.
Yeah.
So that's kind of where we're going with this. I think it gives us a much better understanding of the region.
Gotcha.
With that approach.
Yeah. Let's take a look at that Tyrannosaur tooth.
Yeah, it's right here. You come around that side, you'll see it better.
And we've got a Tyrannosaur question for you as well.
I don't know how good it is. It looks quite nice so far. It's not as big as that one there.
Yeah.
But,
Nice. Okay.
just ease off. You can see the tip is emerging.
I'm touching it.
I've got to be careful because that's a little bone we're trying to keep.
Yeah.
So I was trying to go around it to jump so I can remove that bone in a little chunk. Let's just push that away.
Thank you, Rushwing, for the 24 months of support. Really appreciate that. It's almost a whole year, isn't it? Crimson Carnotaurus in the chat says, if you dig 6 feet down in some areas, you could find an old man.
So basically, I think the base of it is probably, it doesn't look like a huge one, but it's nicely preserved.
Nice.
So it's a little tooth there or something.
Yeah.
This is the same. That looks like it's either a I think it's probably a hadrosaur tooth, but it might be the end of a salamander vertebra. I should get my glasses really. Yeah, there's your nice little tyrannosaur tooth next to the big tyrannosaur tooth. And there were those 2 little raptor teeth came out of here. And
Nice. Tooth central.
yeah, it's a little seed, a bit of the seed. This gravelly layer especially, I've just been putting it in the bucket because this is what we keep doing the micros. But,
Nice.
Yeah.
Well, I've got this for a Tyrannosaur question for you. Question about Daspletosaurus from a viewer. Do you have any idea why their arms seem to be bigger than other Tyrannosaurs? Or is that a real thing? And
Daspletosaurus arms?
yeah, proportionally larger?
I don't know if it's a real thing.
Yeah, interesting.
I was hoping with this new paper that came out about Nanotyrannus, I was hoping that they would do a review of all the known Tyrannosaur arms and say how many have claws, how many have complete blah blah blah.
Yeah.
But it wasn't done. So I was very surprised at that because I thought it was one of the whole points about demonstrating how that was a differentiating character.
Right.
So that's kind of a story for another time. But I don't know because this Daspletosaurus is not that well known. And you've got to find a head with the body to really sort of nail down what it is.
So just the body itself, even the arms are not diagnostic?
I mean, are they?
I don't know.
That was the question, wasn't it? It's like how diagnostic are the arms of tyrannosaurs?
Yeah.
How well known are they? And how many have both claws preserved?
Right.
I don't know if there's many at all.
Which is really interesting because this is such a popular group. People love theropods, and yet so much of the stuff, like
Tyrannosaurs are surprisingly badly figured in the literature. There's a few monographs out there, but considering how famous they are, you would expect there to be like a review of Tyrannosaur arms and like how many do we know about, how many are complete. There's a whole bunch of skeletons from Alberta, for example, of Albertosaurus, Gorgosaurus, and how many of those have complete arms? I couldn't tell you what the answer is. I'm surprised that we don't have a really good review of that kind of information with lots of figures.
Interesting, yeah. I know you've got a really important Daspletosaurus specimen in the lab right now. could that help us determine the proportions of this animal? What's your idea for how mature that critter was, too?
Well, the one we're working on in the lab is the one that's in a concretion.
Yeah.
And it's in the hardest rock of all of the tyrannosaurs we found, so it's a slow process.
Yeah.
But it's probably only about half grown.
Wow.
So
okay.
it'll give us an idea about growth series in Daspletosaurus, if it is Daspletosaurus. I mean,
Interesting.
we only know that it's a tyrannosaur.
Uh-huh.
It looks like it should be Daspleto based on the robusticity of the bone, but
What about the strat, though?
the strat,
Yeah.
it's from the same level as Daspletosaurus wilsoni.
Okay,
The other side of the coulee, but
Uh-huh.
it's half a mile away from Daspletosaurus wilsoni,
Okay.
holotype.
Cool.
But the next one we have coming out is Holger.
Yeah.
That one is, the preparation is finished on it. It's not as complete as the wilsoni holotype, but it's from slightly higher in section, but it's got a few good skull bones,
Nice.
like important skull bones. So
Yeah. Can you say whether or not that's going to be named as a new taxon?
can I say whether it's going to be named as a new taxon? I don't know.
Okay.
I mean, I wouldn't expect it to necessarily.
Okay.
But Elias is coming to study it this fall, he's supposed to be.
Nice.
So when he studies it, he'll decide what it's going to be called.
Yeah.
I'm not saying, it's going to be a new species. Like, it's up to him. He's the one who studies it.
yeah.
I don't expect it will be, but some people would call it, some people wouldn't.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know.
I mean, this is important to talk about for the chat because I often get the question, like, who decides whether it's a new species and what to name it and everything? And yeah, you're kind of watching that unfold in real time, I guess, chat. It's like, well, the person who's working on it, they're studying it, they get to figure this stuff out, and it's kind of their call. So
Depends what you call a new species. I mean, part of what we're trying to get across with the Daspletosaurus stuff is that it's probably a lineage through time, and it's not that you get one specific character, like a stepwise ladder in the lineage. What you're really seeing is a suite of characters that are seen more commonly in the population through time. So you're seeing a bell curve, a population curve moving through time.
Almost like mosaic evolution, like that old idea that like you get certain characteristics that show up kind of more frequently in time in different taxa, but this is like among different individuals in a population.
Well, it's just how individual variation is expressed in a population over time.
Yeah.
You have lots of different variations, but the ones that are selected for, whether it's having a bigger horn or whatever, becomes more common through time.
Right.
And in the case of Daspletosaurus, there's some characters of the postorbital, the lacrimal, and other parts of the back of the skull, and to a lesser extent the front of the skull, the maxilla, etc., which are very rare things to see in Daspletosaurus turosus and wilsoni, but they become more common in the populations in things like Horneri and then in Tyrannosaurus itself.
Yeah.
So some of this is heterochrony, that it's a character that you see emerge only in the very oldest turosus, but you'll see it in a half-grown Horneri, that kind of thing. And I think that, heterochrony and how it affects our interpretation of dinosaur species is something that, like, hadrosaur workers and ceratopsian workers have dealt with for quite some time.
Yeah.
But the data sets for theropods have generally been more limited, and it's not been really possible. But tyrannosaurs are starting to get there. We're starting to get multiple individuals. Some of us are measuring where they come from in sections so we can get a better understanding of the order at which these skeletons go.
Yeah.
And I think we can start sort of teasing out some of these patterns, these long-term patterns.
Interesting. And when you're looking at those different individuals, how does that kind of combat this like holotype thinking? Because I know that's sometimes an issue with stuff like this. You have one specimen, everyone compares it to that one specimen, and how can that warp your idea of what's going on?
Well, you mean having a group of specimens like a hyperdyme rather than having one that you compare it to? I mean, if you've only found one specimen, you've only found one dinosaur in the whole of Africa, well, it's pretty easy to call it a new species.
Sure.
Whenever you find two specimens, they always look different. So you can name those two species. But, working on Triceratops, I've dug over 100 Triceratops sites. And when you've seen that many different specimens, you start to see similarities, you start to see differences. You see differences within one skeleton, within one skull.
Sure. And
you realize that so much of what many people ascribe to new species is probably just individual variation. Now, that said, the problem is that the individual variation within a single population, certain characters of that individual variation, like one has a slightly bigger horn, I always say that, if that's being selected for, then later in time they'll all have bigger horns.
Yeah.
Or most, they'll have bigger horns on average. So I think as we get more specimens, we start to see the collapse of this sort of, I don't know, typological thinking is what you would say. Is like everything's got to be different, and you start realizing that you're seeing a moving average. How you should be thinking about these things, or at least that's how we think about it.
Yeah.
Some people just like to name new species for everything. I think it's a much more interesting question because you're really asking about how animals evolve.
Yeah.
Why is I think most of the structures around the eye, the little hornlets and things in tyrannosaurs, is probably just display stuff. But the features of the snout, the maxilla, the teeth, how they get bigger and things, and like the proportions of the body, they're mechanical. That's like the actions that the animal is taking in its life.
Yeah.
And the fact that it is heading towards, without wanting to sound Tyrannosaurus, giant, like the ultimate big version of a tyrannosaur.
Yeah.
I think that's pretty cool. Which you get there, is Tyrannosaurus taking certain features that are seen in juvenile of early ones and expressing them later? We can start teasing apart how these things evolve rather than just describing morphologies and naming species.
Sure. Cool. Thanks, Denver. Yeah, this is great. Hopefully, chat, that gives you a sense for how we're trying to think about these critters as being members of lineages evolving over time. You get these snapshots of like one specimen here, one there, but it's part of a continuum, It's important to remember that these are creatures that were living and evolving and growing during their lifetimes. Individual variation, stratigraphic variation. You got to take all that into consideration, This isn't the 19th century anymore. Like, oh, this one's got a bump. It's a little bit different. It's like, well, what does that mean? Anywho, I hope you appreciated that aside there. But yeah, Becca Paintmore says, will we ever get to see the screen washing process on stream? Denver chuckled there. I think we have a chatter, a good chatter with an archaeological background. So screen washing might be a bit more familiar. But this screen washing is going to take place in the lab. Somebody's going to do it.
I'm hoping that the idea of the screen washing project is supposed to be for Professor Andy Hackett and his students.
Oh, right. And Andy's coming out this summer, right?
He might be coming out this summer, but we're collecting all of these samples, and he did take a couple of bags back with him.
Gotcha. Bags like this. Yeah, there's
not quite as big as these ones.
Okay.
But did like an initial sampling. We're really hoping we can break it down in Dickinson, but we're not going to sit there and pick through it. That's something that Andy and his students should be doing.
Oh, okay. So you can send them the concentrate, and then they can work through that.
That would be ideal, but I'd like to build an automated machine that basically will concentrate, get rid of all the clay, rid of all the muck, and just give us little bits of bone and little bits of amber and stuff like that, and grains of silica. And Andy and his students can pick through it and they can do their projects on that. That's supposed to be what happens to all of this.
Very
Because
cool.
it's really rich. I mean, there's all sorts of good stuff in it.
It's this stuff in here. This is not full of birds, unlike what you would think looking at the bag. This is full of rock, and it's like we were talking about the other day, this
pebbly gravel layer.
Yeah, with those like clay clasts in it. Neat.
I mean, some people who study like fossil mammals, especially, they'll go and take a great big sack sample every year from a site. They put a lot of work into getting one of these sacks, but for us it's a byproduct. So we figured we might as well collect it, even if it just sits outside the museum in sacks for years. As we slowly go through it, we'll at least have this great big sample that someone can make use of.
Right, yeah. Cool. Yeah. I mean, somebody will be really excited about this.
I'm excited. I love all the little critters.
Yeah. Well, speaking of little critters, let me get that diagram out, and we haven't done that yet today. Show you, you clean your screen. Yeah, different kind of screen washing, Trick Tracks. And Gene Wen says, if you had to recommend one general overview book on dinosaurs that isn't too far out of whack with the current state of knowledge, what would you recommend? Oh, that's a good question. My standard answer for this for a long time was Tom Holtz's book. It's called, like, Dinosaurs, the most complete, up-to-date guide for dinosaur lovers of all ages. But that came out in, like, 2007, or maybe earlier. So that's still really good. I'd recommend Holtz. And Louis Ray is the illustrator for that. And that's kind of like an encyclopedia. There's different chapters about different groups of dinosaurs. Lovely illustrations in it. It's really good. And it's stood the test of time more so than you'd expect for a book that's almost 20 years old. I've heard good things about Brusati's book, Rise and Fall of the Dinosaurs, but I haven't read it, so I can't personally recommend it.
The Dinosauria?
Dinosauria is pretty technical.
I guess.
But yeah. I like where your head's at, though. It's...
Well, there's a new copy that's theoretically under production right now.
I think Dinosauria Volume 2 came out or second edition came out in like 2004, right? Yeah.
I'll give my totally unasked for take.
Oh yeah, okay, Devin.
The book by Brusati,
yeah.
Brusati, yeah, that one was really good. And
Okay,
he has
yeah.
another one on young mammals too, or early mammals too.
Yeah, the rise and reign of the mammals, and now he's got the rise and rise of the birds. Maybe it's just rise of the birds. But yeah. Thank you, Devin. So yeah, we've got a recommendation from a non-specialist. So if Devin liked it, then yeah. Anytime I try to recommend a book on dinosaurs, it's like, well, I'm recommending this as a paleontologist. Like, I eat, live, and breathe this stuff. So yeah, when you have a recommendation from somebody who doesn't specialize in this, maybe that carries more weight in a certain way. I don't know. But yeah. And hang on. Hello from Kalispell. Lunapath. Hello. Hello from near Havre. Yeah. Good stuff. Becca Patemore says, if I were over there, I'd process those bags for you as a volunteer. I'd love to see the lab someday. Oh, well, Becca, shoot. If you're ever in North Dakota, you've got lab experience. The lab does take volunteers. Don't worry, Denver. We didn't get that on camera. But yeah, the lab does take volunteers. Somebody with experience in screen washing and that kind of thing. Yeah,
if they really wanted to.
Yeah.
And we're in Dickinson, North Dakota. Yeah, we take volunteers, and we have got a bit of a screen washing setup. It's just like a tub, but we have some sieves that are made for it. I'd like underneath to help it along, and an agitator.
Nice, yeah.
Like that kind of thing.
I think a lot of archaeological screen washing is dry sieving, right? Which this would be.
Exciting sieving. It's like the opposite of archaeological dry sieving. It's got a little, it's not just like little flakes of flint and bits of rust.
Yeah.
And it's little fossils.
Yeah.
You don't tend to do too much dry sieving.
Yeah.
You got to use the wet sieving just to break down the sediment as well.
Mm-hmm. Cool. Yeah. Here, let me show you some of those little critters. That's why I was going over here in the first place before I got distracted. Book recommendations. Live broadcast, these things happen. There we are. Nope, wrong one. Where did it go? Where's my microfauna illustration? There it is. So, here is a nice little who's who of many of the critters we get in this environment. We've got the fossils of most of these critters here, from champsosaurs, these weird, almost crocodile-y looking lizardy guys. They might be related to archosaurs, they might not be, but they're not crocs. No scutes or anything. Weird, like fish-eating critters, champsosaurs. Lots of garfish here, with their cool ganoid scales. I don't know if they have any bowfin here. I should ask about that. This is one of the stars of the show in Wyoming a few weeks ago.
Yes.
Oh, you get bowfin too?
Oh
Nice. All right. Is it Melvius or somebody else? Cyclurus?
Don't know yet, but we've got jaws and vertebrae.
Nice. All right. Yeah. Here, maybe we'll go over here. Tons of Mylodaphis, which this illustration, again, it's lovely by Russell Hawley, shows it as being very ray-like, but I've heard Mylodaphis might actually be closer to like a guitarfish.
Have you not seen the specimen at the Tyrrell Museum?
No, what?
Oh, it is gorgeous. Yes, it's a guitarfish.
Oh, awesome.
It's the shape of a guitarfish.
Yeah, yeah.
It's exquisite.
I need to look this up.
It has the entire jaw plates.
Uh-huh.
Just all the little hexagons in place, and then the outline of the body and the fins.
That's awesome, yeah.
It is a beautiful, beautiful specimen.
Yeah. Guitarfish are so cool. I 3D printed a model of a guitarfish for my office, and it's pretty neat. Denver's looking skeptical.
I don't see it for me too.
But,
I'm
Sweet.
I don't know. Danny's filming at the egg site tomorrow.
I'm not.
You know?
What do they have?
All right then. Well, Steve just said, we just found the lower jaw of the yearling duckbill. Has a coronoid process, potentially some teeth.
Holy cow.
So maybe there'll be some more skull of it, don't know.
Yeah, very nice.
We had a couple of nice lower jaws of a little duckbill from here as well.
Uh-huh.
So we have a small skeleton coming out of this quarry as well.
Holy
So he says yearling, not nestling.
He said yearling.
Does the coronoid process have a prong on it? It would start developing around then if it was certain taxa.
Liz says, does the coronoid process have a prong on it? You probably won't know
Wow.
what you mean.
Exciting, though. Shoot. They're going to be razzing me for this when I get back to camp. They're like, Danny, you should have come to the egg site today.
Do we not have enough raptor bones here for you?
That's the difficult choice. There's so many cool things at both sites. But, yeah. So, Mylodaphis. We should make that a guitarfish. Yeah. Do you have any hybidont teeth or spines from
We
here?
do. We have gotten quite a few hybidont teeth from here.
Very cool. Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
These cool freshwater sharks. If you've seen, what is it, the third episode of Walking with Dinosaurs, they've got those Hyboda sharks in that episode. So a lot of people know it from that, but really cool. And then...
We probably have squatterina as well.
Oh, really? There it's portrayed like a wabagong, but I wonder
Yeah.
what it would look like in life.
I go with wabagong.
Yeah? Okay, neat.
All fun.
Yeah.
Really fun taxa.
Yeah.
Yeah, guitarfishes and wabagons, they're the best.
Really neat. No sawfishes, though, unfortunately.
Not here.
No. In fact, they hadn't evolved it. They're Cenozoic. The proper sawfish, I think. You get Onchopristis from North Africa. That's from an extinct group. Those are I think what Jim calls saw skates. So they're not actually related to the Pristidae of today, I don't think. I want to say that Pristidae is a Cenozoic group. I'm not totally...
I thought I found one in the dinosaur park, but I could be completely wrong because it was a very long time
Well,
ago.
it might be part of Onchopristidae or whatever.
Okay.
But yeah. And then there's only one turtle in this diagram, which I feel like is a shortcoming.
Oh yeah, we have many turtle taxa here.
How many would you estimate? Like more than 5, 10?
Well, I mean, let's say probably 5. Okay, let's not go
Nice.
with
No,
that
that's
5.
that's awesome.
But yeah, there's soft shells. There's a lot of basilamis.
Uh-huh.
It's really nice when it breaks off a huge chunk.
Yeah.
When it doesn't.
Cool. And Scaperpeton, that's always fun to say.
Yeah.
Little salamandery guy, just the triton.
Yep.
So lots of amphibian critters.
Yep.
Yeah.
Champsosaurus, of course.
Yeah. Neat. We don't have any of those in Wyoming, which is incredibly strange to be like going to microsites, not a single scrap of Champsosaur from that entire formation.
Really, I would have thought Wyoming would at least get some.
No, none whatsoever.
Wow.
And we've been surprised to see that because we were expecting to find them too.
Because they're so common here.
Yeah. Cool. And then there's also no mammals in this diagram. Denver says because it's during the day.
Oh, you're right. I thought there was. It was a lizard.
Yeah, you immediately look to the Maniraptor and like, oh, who's he eating?
Yeah.
Not a mammal.
No mammal.
But yeah.
I like that little detail. I was going to say, it looks like he's pushing his brother in the water, and then I saw that. Yep.
Yeah. But that's okay. The shark is coming to his rescue, you know? Nice. I love this diagram. Yeah.
That's nice.
Cool. Thanks, Liz. Yeah. Oh, what's a critter that you haven't found here yet that you really want to?
We've found bits of ceratopsian and bits of tyrannosaur, but we really don't have much.
Okay.
which, given how much we have of the rare, multiple different species of raptors and the pterosaur and everything, having the big, chunky, more common ones, ceratopsians and tyrannosaurs, be fairly absent is weird.
That is weird.
I mean, like, we get teeth, but I would have expected a few more body bones to have washed down the river, given just that we have everything else.
Right. It'll probably just be a matter of time. I mean, there's a lot of rock to work back there.
Exactly.
I think you'll get it eventually, yeah.
They'll turn up. I'm confident.
So yeah. Let me know if you got any other questions, chat. Oh, and thank you for the gift sub. Oh, Urgle Wurgle, appreciate that. Excellent. Oh, and holy cow, 10 from Spartan and 20 from Urgle Wurgle. Thank you so much for your support. I really appreciate that. Thanks for making it possible for me to do these streams. This is literally how I make my living, so thanks for making that possible. That means a lot to me. And also, speaking of support for this work, let me show something else off to you. We're working with the Badlands Dinosaur Museum from Dickinson, North Dakota here. And if you would like to help support the work of the... There's a donation on the website, which you're welcome to use. That would be very generous of you. But if you want a tangible in return, there's this excellent merch. I was very excited when Liz brought this for me because I placed an order there. This is Lambeosaurus right here. Beautiful duck-billed dinosaur. You can get this on the merch shop page, and proceeds from that directly benefit the museum, including paleontology. So yeah, what's really cool is Liberty, the Lambeosaurus, comes from literally right over there. So let me go walk you over, and we'll see that jacket. It's covered up by a blue tarp right now, as many of the best things in life are. But we've got the postcrania over there, and that's going to be a task for this crew later on in the summer, is getting that thing out of the ground. They're going to have to flip it and jacket the underside of it. It's right over here. There we go. Body of a duck-billed dinosaur. The head is already back in the lab. These guys have got very distinctive and beautiful looking skulls. Like that almost like hatchet-shaped crest on the top of the head. Really, really nice. This is I think the first Lambeosaurus from the United States, is it not? Really, really cool critter. The body is under there, much of the postcrania. But the skull is already back in the museum, and I think it's on display, isn't it? I'll go ask about that. But you can't get a shirt like this anywhere else except at the Badlands Dinosaur Museum, and you'll help support our work out here. So if you're interested, click that link, get yourself a shirt. Yeah. And can't find that shirt on the shop site. Is it not there, Golganek? Huh. And Django Sauce says that's a great shade of green. It really is, yeah. Well, I know you can get the Daspletosaurus shirt, but is this one not on the website yet? We'll have to ask. Sorry if I misinformed you there. Claire says it's too new. Oh, okay. Well, I don't know what to say. I'm sorry. Shoot. I thought it was available on the site. Let's see.
Oh yeah, PNAS has not written me back yet.
Oh no, the journal?
No.
Yeah.
No.
So that's the Proceedings of the National Academy of Sciences, or PNAS, as we all call it. That's what the acronym is. If they wanted us to call it something different, they should have picked a different acronym. But yeah. Yeah, so Taya's been inquiring about some data from a rather suspect paper from that journal from a few years back.
Yeah, almost 10 years?
Yeah.
15 years now?
Do you want to talk about a little bit about that on stream? You don't have to. But,
I'm good.
Yeah.
I mean,
this is important because this is, science is about testing ideas and following the evidence where it leads, and science needs to be verifiable and reproducible. And what paper is this? Yeah.
So, the title of the paper, if I recall it correctly, is Physical Evidence of Predatory Behavior in Tyrannosaurus Rex.
Okay.
It is written by De Palma and co-authors in 2013.
Uh-huh.
I think it's behind a paywall, which is rather unfortunate.
Okay.
You can find it online at least.
Uh-huh. We'll probably get a link to it in the chat.
Yeah.
But yeah.
So, I study toothworks, for those of you who don't know what I do.
Uh-huh.
I did my entire doctoral degree on tooth marks and tooth wear.
Uh-huh.
And I even described an instance where we had an embedded tooth in an Edmontosaurus skull, so a duck-billed dinosaur skull from the Hell Creek very recently.
So you know what it looks like when you get a Tyrannosaur tooth stuck in a duck-billed dinosaur snout.
Yeah, we did CT scan and everything.
Right, yeah.
And just looking through the paper, I noticed some things were kind of like strange. And
This 2013 paper, not by you, the other one.
Yeah. The 2013 paper was kind of strange, and I was like, this seems weird. And how did they do this or that? One of the big things that really confused me was their figure 3, which shows a snapshot of some of the serrations on supposedly this embedded tooth.
Right.
And they did not describe exactly how they obtained that photo.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a little suspect, right? Because supposedly you have an embedded tooth.
So a tooth actually stuck inside the bone.
Yeah, and then it's been basically pathologically, so you have a bunch of gnarly bone surrounding this tooth as a response to it becoming embedded in the vertebrae.
So this is essentially like they're claiming the Tyrannosaur bit this duck-billed dinosaur's tail, caused a big injury, the tooth came out and got stuck in the tail vertebra, and then you have all this like basically inflamed bone tissue around it?
Yeah, more or less. So like you wouldn't expect it to stick out very far in order to get that image of the serrations.
Sure. So they have images of the tooth, but the tooth is stuck in the bone, so how are they getting those pictures? That's the question?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And I did a lot of digging, and I contacted what's called the corresponding author, so the author that you would write to if you had questions.
Yeah.
And I was like, how did you get this picture? And I found out that they had, or I guess the first author had extracted it from the specimen, which is a big no-no in paleo for the most part. Because
it's incredibly special and rare to have a tooth embedded inside of a bone. That makes it extremely special. So they yanked the tooth out? That's the claim?
Yeah. That's at least what the corresponding author told me. So I'm like, oh, that was not great, especially considering they have CT scans. Which, like, if you can't get CT scans, then maybe extracting the tooth would have been justified.
But CT, so computerized tomography imaging, that's like a computerized X-ray. So, like, why would you need to take it out if you already have X-rays of the interior?
Exactly.
Yeah.
And there are suspect things about the images, like the stills that they included in the paper of those CT scans, too. Like, for instance, they showed this really high density, so that really bright part of the tooth that's supposedly embedded in 2 of the stills, but the first still, which supposedly is supposed to show the tooth itself as it's sticking a little bit out of the bone, and it's not there. Like, you don't get that really high contrast patch where the tooth is supposedly located, based on the photos that they provided, or I guess the photo provided in the first figure. So it's like, where's the tooth?
Weird.
Right?
So for legal and politeness reasons, we're not going to say that there's anything untoward going on here, but it is a little strange.
It is, isn't it?
So, yeah, and like trying to find out more details about this has been tricky.
Oh yeah, I've contacted the first author several occasions.
Yeah.
and I haven't been written back. And it's not like I've emailed him like 4 times in the past week. I've emailed him over the course of months. I even contacted the director of the museum, who did write me back very quickly, but redirected me back to the first author again, because he's the curator of the museum where the specimen is supposedly held.
Interesting.
Yeah. And another part of the mystery that just sort of thickens the plot is the CT scans are not provided in the supplemental material. In fact, there's no supplemental material.
So when you're, it would be standard practice to include those data so that people can verify, they can see that it's real and everything.
It's the reproducibility of the science, right?
Yeah, you need to be able to verify, like, as a scientist, that these people did their work properly. And you if you're interested in this kind of thing, then, like, you should be able to learn from how they carried this out. You should be able to see their data. Like, this is why we publish papers, is to communicate this information to each other. And that's not in there.
Yeah, like, it would have been great to compare that to the other, like, specimen, the Montesaurus skull specimen. Because it's, like, one of the only other instances where we get this sort of...
Yeah, and this is your line of work. Like, this is exactly what you do.
Yeah.
So you'd be very interested. Well, we look forward very much to getting the supplementary information and the CT data and everything else, and having all of these mysteries completely resolved. So, I guess we're waiting on that. Yeah. Okay.
And I guess with is the unfortunate thing is that since he removed that tooth, he can't re-CT the specimen anymore, right? So if he had left the tooth in its original, he being diploma, had left the tooth in its original position, you could just simply go get the specimen rescanned, right?
Yeah.
But unfortunately, that did not happen. So if those scans have been lost, the information cannot be verified anymore. And so then what do you do, right? And apparently the guy who analyzed the original CT scans, he died a few years ago. So it's possible that those scans were lost with him. Which is just unfortunate.
Right. Well, that's why you put the sup info in the paper, so that it's in the public record. Well, Tay, I wish you the very best of luck in resolving. I hope they send that information to you right away. And
yeah.
Because it has to exist, right?
You would think, right? Yeah.
Okay. Thanks, Tay.
Mystery deepens.
Oh boy. Interesting stuff. Yeah. And Crimson Carnotaurus says, could taking the tooth out mess up the data?
Totally.
Yes, very much so. Interesting. Yeah.
If a tooth was removed, it's removed out of context.
Right. I mean, the fact that it's in there in the first place makes it interesting.
If it was in there in the first place.
Yeah.
I wouldn't take anything for granted.
Well, there you have it, chat. Interesting.
You're a very kind person, Danny.
Too kind, some would say.
I think some people have got a lot of questions to answer.
Yeah, fair, yeah. You know, that's the thing about science, is that you make big claims, you got to provide big evidence. I think Carl Sagan said something to that effect back in the day. And it's true. So yeah, we'll see what happens with this saga over the next few years. But yeah. And Kennedy says, wasn't that the same person with the Tannasite, which has issues as well? Is it? That's interesting.
And Dakota Raptor.
And Dakota Raptor. Also interesting. Again, we look forward to all of this being resolved. Getting those data, and then we can all breathe easy. Yeah.
And he's so optimistic.
But yeah. I'm a science communicator. I gotta, be friendly toward everyone to a certain extent. But a certain extent can be a number of things, can't it? Yeah. Sammy Keen says, I can't get over how beautiful the sky looks. Yeah, there's clouds up there. It's blue. Yeah, it's funny the way that people in the chat say that. I imagine that you're like living in some sort of city where the sky is just always gray and gloomy and filled with smog, and that probably is where a lot of people live, to be honest. I take this for granted sometimes, being out here. Like, yeah, it's, you know, the sky's up there, it's blue during the daytime at least. There's clouds up there, all of that. Yeah. Sammy Keen says, I'm in Ohio. Oh, you have my condolences. And Link for Real says, I'm in Salt Lake City and the air is filled with smoke from wildfires. I'm going to be in Salt Lake City 2 days from now. So I guess I have that to look forward to. Oh boy. Salt Lake is one of those places, though, where I'm really worried for it. Like, not only do they have that, what is that inversion thing that goes on in the valley, where all the smog and everything gets trapped there, especially during the winter, but also with that extreme drought happening in that region, the Great Salt Lake is drying up, and there's all kinds of nasty stuff down there on the lake floor. And if the lake dries up and that stuff gets up into the air, becomes airborne, you can get arsenic and nasty heavy metals and stuff like that just blowing around. Like, part of this is it seems to be due to climate change, really. So, I don't know what's going to happen to Salt Lake City. Like, could that entire region have to be evacuated in the coming decades just because the whole place has got toxic air? It could well happen, you know? And people don't often think about this kind of thing, you know? I think a lot of folks have this kind of general assumption. They're like, oh, nothing ever happens, you know? Everything will always be the same as it is today. And like, no, if there's one thing that the study of geology, life on Earth tells, we live on a dynamic planet, and you get these sometimes big catastrophic, and then sometimes everything's asteroid impact. We wouldn't be here today if that hadn't happened, you know? So,
Danny?
yeah. Yeah, Brandon?
How good is that camera?
Oh, I've got a microphone magnifying glass.
Can you tell what this is?
Oh, looks toothy. What does the other side look like? That looks almost like a cross-section of a ray tooth or something?
Not a cross-section.
Oh no, holy cow, is that a mammal tooth?
Yes.
That double root right there?
Yep, 2 roots.
Holy moly.
Ragged.
Nice, yeah. Oh, that is beautiful. You know, some people would give their right arm for a mammal tooth from the Cretaceous.
Let me use my right arm to get this mosquito here.
There you go, nicely done.
Jeez.
Holy cow, Chad, a mammal. That is really neat. Well done.
Yeah. Thank you.
Awesome, Brandon. Good job.
Yeah.
Holy cow.
See, I'm digging in this little clay layer. It's only about yay thick, but it's yielding a lot of fish scales and teeth exclusively.
Nice, yeah.
And then this was right in it.
Fantastic.
So there we go.
Superb.
It's
I wonder who that's from, yeah.
It's definitely a molar tooth. It's very jagged there.
Nice. I'm impressed at the number of mammals they're getting from this site, because, I don't know, we've been digging down in Wyoming for like 5 years now and only now have 2 mammal teeth, both from the same site.
What age is that?
That's like Campanian, Maastrichtian
Okay,
boundary.
so same general age.
Yeah.
Wow.
But, pretty cool.
Yeah. Flip it over again there.
Nice, yeah. Excellent. Thanks for showing me. Fantastic.
Yeah, no problem, man.
Do we want to give your YouTube page a shout out?
Oh,
again,
sure, yeah. It's Grand History. I upload maybe once a year. I'll try to change that soon, eventually. You know, so it's cool. Finding that, I do have a viral video. Are horseshoe crabs dangerous? Skins. That's usually an easier way to find my channel than actually typing the name of it.
There you go. Yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Thanks, Brandon.
Absolutely.
Cool. Nice find.
Thank you.
Holy cow. Pretty awesome. Yeah. Well, mammals. I was talking about how this is actually excellent timing. Talking about how, you know, sometimes things happen like that asteroid impact at the end of the Cretaceous, kind of changed things forever. For pretty much the entire age of the dinosaurs, mammals were around, but they're tiny little mouse-like critters running around in the underbrush. probably, maybe mostly coming out at night for fear of being eaten by dinosaurs during the daytime. I'm only oversimplifying or exaggerating a little bit. Mammals were tiny little critters for like the entire age of the dinosaurs, and only after that asteroid hit did mammals start to embiggen themselves and diversify into all kinds of different body forms. What were once mostly small rat or shrew-like critters were able to evolve into horses and bats and cats and whales and camels and bears and primates like you and me. But during the age of dinosaurs, that is mostly what you find from mammals. Tiny, tiny, tiny little teeth, maybe the occasional jaw with teeth in it, and then sometimes other postcrania too. But mammals tend to be small and rare, especially in environments like this, like in the late Cretaceous. There are some places in the world, maybe in Gondwana, mammals got a bit bigger, as big as like a big badger, or maybe even a small dog for some of the most gargantuan of Mesozoic mammals. For the most part, mammals are teeny tiny during the age of dinosaurs. And it really seems to be like dinosaurs kept them small through competition, which is interesting. So yeah. And I don't know if that would be a multi-ramen. That's a good question. Multi-tuberculate or... It's not the characteristic P4 that multis have. Multi-tuberculates were this group of Mesozoic mammals that were very widespread and successful by mammal standards. But they've got this big blade-like premolar number 4 that they probably used for crunching open bugs. That's not that. So Brandon was saying it looked like a molar. I don't know what multi-molars look like. I only really know what their P4s look like. So it could be a multi. By the numbers, it probably is, but... And Freaky Feline says, why are mammals so hard to find here in the Badlands? Well, in the rocks, they tend to be very small. But nowadays, we got big mammals running around. We saw a deer bounding across the valley earlier. We saw some dirt bikers. And Denver kindly informed them that a lot of this is private land, so, like, be careful. Don't trespass. You don't want to get shot. It is Montana, after all. Anyway, so there's lots of mammals on the landscape today, and they're pretty easy to find. There was a mouse in the quarry earlier. I'll show you a picture. But, yeah. Where's our mouse friend? There we go. Yeah, a little mouse. I'm going to upload him to iNaturalist in a minute. Actually, let me do that right now. Why not? Share. iNaturalist. Hopefully that's a diagnostic picture. There we go. And private location. What did I see? Western deer mouse. Well, well, well. There we go. There's my picture. And there's the iNaturalist picture. Cool. That's a new taxon for me. Heck yes. It's always nice to add a mammal to iNaturalist. Beautiful. Superb. Yeah, nice. But anyway, the mammals tend to be very small, hard to find, not very common. They seem to be a very, not to be too disparaging, but minor component of this ecosystem. Mammals were... they're probably overrepresented in fossil collections, to be honest, because if you find a piece of a mammal, you will 1,000% collect that piece. Whereas gar scales, bowfin, vertebrates, sturgeon, osteoderms, whatever, like, people go, oh, who cares, sometimes. But, like, you find a piece, yeah. Yeah. Gene 1 says, have you informed the mouse that it is on private land? No, that mouse, so our quarry here is not on private land. Some of the valley floor is in that area over there. But this is Bureau of Land Management land. So this is public federal land. It belongs to we the people of these United States. This land is in the public domain, and we have special federal permits to be able to dig here. But it means that all the fossils that we collect here need to go to a federal repository. And Badlands Dinosaur Museum is one such repository. Mosquito, stop. Get away.
Yeah, so if it's from the hot zone of the pebble layer, it doesn't matter if it's loose.
And exactly, Claire Burr, yeah, just like, oh goodness, why am I forgetting his name? The folk singer. Was it Pete Seeger? This land is your land? This land is my land?
Bob Dylan?
No, isn't that Pete Seeger? This land is your land? Oh, Woody Guthrie, thank you. I'm sorry. Shoot. I think Pete Seeger might have been This Machine Kills Fascists. I hold them both in very high regard. Yeah. Yeah.
Listen to a lot of, I don't know if any other songs that, he did of other artists. He was more of a, no, you guys do my songs.
When you've got a minute, Denver. I wanted to ask you if you'd like to talk a little bit about the importance of collecting on public lands and why we're proud to be able to do that kind of thing and work with the BLM. Because this is one of these things that, I don't know, I feel like it doesn't get talked about enough. And it's really important.
Well, yeah, we've been working, I've been digging on BLM land with Museum of the Rockies, and then before that, New Mexico for well over 20 years.
Nice.
And, the importance of, public lands are here for everybody, for one. So, we get to enjoy and collect fossils on this land, but we see hikers from time to time. Mm-hmm. Hunters come here all the time. Mm-hmm. Well, not all the time, in season, obviously. It would be dangerous otherwise. The south side of this quarry, the south side of this coulee, is an area where people can ride their mud bikes and things like that.
Oh, yeah.
So, public lands are really important for multi-use.
Yeah.
And for us, one of that uses is paleontology.
Mm-hmm.
So they allow us to collect fossils, and these fossils belong to the people of the United States, and we just look after them at our museum. And if our museum ever closed down, they would have to go to another public museum.
Right.
So they're always available. It's really important that fossils are in public collections because that way they can always be accessed by researchers.
Right.
We heard earlier about the problems that researchers can encounter if privately owned specimens, which effectively all of these ones are, that were published against ethical policies by these big journals who have started to basically break some of the rules our professional societies actually are founded upon. It's a severe problem. Many of the big museums and the big journals have started to break those rules, basically because of the rise of this sort of private ownership of fossils.
Right.
And we're starting to see the impact of that in terms of accessibility to researchers. So everything that we collect here goes into a public collection and it'll always be accessible to researchers. Now, that said, to begin with, we're collecting new things, and I like the people who worked here and the people who I work with to describe those specimens. So one of the specimens from here is actually in review right now in a journal.
Nice.
Journal that was mentioned earlier on today.
Yeah.
We'll see how that goes. But, but that means anyone can come and see those specimens. They'll be published and they're in our collection. We have people come by the museum quite a bit to see what we've got.
Nice. So other researchers visiting the collections to study those specimens and
like a lot of the stuff that's coming out of this quarry is incomplete currently. Like, for example, the pterosaur, the troodontid, the raptors and things. As we go in more, we're getting more of them, so I don't feel they're ready to be studied quite yet. But when they are ready, we will get them out there.
Yeah.
And then they'll be available for people to look at. We have people come by and look at the Daspletosaurus specimen. And the Lambeosaur is on public display, so anyone can see it.
Right, yeah.
But I think there are many unfortunate consequences to these huge, expensive fossils. They're going, and
like these big auctions and stuff like that.
Yeah, private land people can do comes from it. I think that it forces up the prices such that most small museums could never afford the sorts of prices. And quite frankly, I don't think any museum in the world right now, other than maybe some of the huge new museums like in the Far East, in the Middle East, could afford like 30, 40 million.
That's nuts.
Honestly, what are actually quite average specimens? Like these things are like Triceratops, T-Rex, Stegosaurus.
Yeah.
These are not rare animals. These are not particularly important. Like the rare stuff, the stuff that tells us new things, like that's what's really important scientifically. And I think we're distorting perspective on what's an important specimen, what isn't, because of these ridiculous values that are paid. Like Triceratops is one of the most common. Why they're selling for 10 million, 5 million. Never mind, I'm infamous for pointing out every time one of these goes up for sale, I point out just how much of it is made of cardboard and plaster. And it's just, these things are not worth what's being paid for them. Occasionally there are exceptional specimens up there that are like all real and really cool. I mean, Stan the T-Rex was a classic. Sue the T-Rex, classic. Those are amazing specimens. But there's a hell of a lot of junk out there that's getting sold for a lot of money. And things that we wouldn't bother collecting. And you can argue then, fair enough, it gets sold because it's trash. It's just I don't understand why it goes for hundreds of thousands or millions of dollars.
I think it's because people just don't understand how common these animals are oftentimes and how inexpensive it is to dig them up.
Well, but that's the thing, isn't it? I think I say this every time. Like, they put these in auctions because then the buyer sets the price. They could never advertise it online. This has cost you 30 million, and not having it. So no. But then the buyer sets the price. So there's, well, you paid 30 million for it. It's only worth 50 grand, but you paid 30 million. That's up to you, not me. That's how it goes with auctions. Like, and that's the reason why the stuff goes to auction. I don't know, I just steer clear of all that. Like, we work on public lands, and we've got a great relationship, and people in the United States should be proud of the stuff that gets found on their land.
Absolutely.
They get to come into the museums and see the things that they're, part owner of, and they know that they'll always be there for the people. And if all of this land was sold off, you wouldn't be seeing dinosaurs in museums as much as you would do right now.
Right, when this stuff belongs to we the people. So on that note, you talk about how people should be proud of what's coming out of here. You've donated a few replicas, like fossil casts, from this area to some places in this region, right?
Yeah, I mean, one of the things we like to do when we have the opportunities is put some casts in public places. We just dropped off a couple of skulls of the Lambeosaur, casts of it.
Nice, which is gorgeous, by the way. Holy cow, is it beautiful?
One is in the BLM office here in town.
Nice.
I don't know if they put it up yet. And the other is in the public library. We only dropped them up a couple of weeks ago. I took a print of some of the art that we had and I put it in the gas station where we take showers.
Nice.
Earlier on, like a few days before that, we dropped off a complete copy of the Wilsonite jaw into the bar in Hinsdale, near where it was found.
That's so cool.
And they were really pleased with that. We put a articulated arm of a duckbill with skin impressions.
Is that the one that Liz and I were digging up in 2017?
There's a copy. There's a copy of that in the BLM office in Glasgow, but then there's also one in the high school science laboratory in Hinsdale.
Very cool.
So you've got to do that. There's not enough of it. Like, the people around here, they ask about the fossils that are found. They have got their own museum in town. There's some nice things. Clack Museum, you should drop in if you're ever passing through Havre.
Don't go on a Sunday or a Monday because they're closed. That's a mistake I made. We
always go when we have town day. You go to the museum. Oh no, it's closed. It's right opposite where we do our laundry. But you should go there. But I think people are always interested in the things that are coming out. They've heard about all this stuff, Zool and all these other things that come from this area, but they really need to see it. And I think it's an important thing to give back that way. You'd be surprised the number of how people brighten up when they find out they can go and see it. That's why I put it in the library, because we go there. We stay in the library on our town days. We won't stay there, but we go in for a few hours when it's air conditioned. And they're always very nice to us, so I wanted to put something there.
That's really cool.
And it's a public building, people can go in for free. And I think they'll go in more often,
Yeah, for sure.
I was a kid, I'd go to the library every few weeks. We get new books every few weeks.
It's cool. Like, you imagine little kids growing up in this town, and you know, they grew up knowing that there's a dinosaur there that they could see at the library that came from this area. There's a certain degree of local pride there, and I think that's really neat. Yeah. Speaking of that lambeosaur, can we go take a look at that real quick and talk about that specimen?
Sure.
Let me grab the T-shirt. So, by the way, is the T-shirt on the online shop yet?
No, I don't think it is yet.
Oh, okay.
But if you email the museum, I'm sure that they would just. You could just say, I'd like one of the lambeosaur ones. And they'll just tell you to order one of the other ones.
Okay,
and, just put a note with it.
Yeah. Nice. So yeah.
Because they only just literally these. I think these only. Oh, it's just my size. Yeah, in the sun.
There we go. Yeah. Nice. There we go. Yeah. So this Liberty, the Lambeosaurus, that's a nickname for that particular specimen, and that comes from right over there, right?
Right. So yeah, Liberty was the first. One of the first things that we found at this site. We found a bunch of bones sticking out here, but nothing immediately identifiable, but really promising.
Yeah.
And then we followed the same lay around, or rather Jack Wilson followed the same lay around.
Nice.
And came across the lower jaw of Liberty. We didn't know it was a lower jaw until we dug in.
Yeah.
But it was one of the lower jaws. The back half had gone down the hill many years ago, but the front half was all there. And as he got to the tip of the jaw, he came across the other lower jaw with the beak stuck to it, the predentary. So we're like, this is looking really promising. So we covered it up. We took the first lower jaw because that was exposed, and we covered up the rest of the other one. Yeah. And we got the excavation permit, came back the next year. There's the whole skull. Nice. And there's a neck, and there's all more bone around it, and we kind of never stopped. And it's the skull out on the 4th of July.
Nice.
And it's the only Lambeosaurus specimen, because we have a complete crest, we know exactly what it is.
Yeah.
It's the only Lambeosaurus specimen from the not too far north of here, of course, you know, like 30 odd miles north of here. They've probably got another one. But you know, you can see one in the Chicago Field Museum.
Yep. Yeah.
I think probably one in the American Museum in New York as well, but those are from Canada.
Yeah.
Ours is the only US one, and it's also one of the nicest skulls ever collected. It's really pristine.
Just gorgeous. Yeah. Oh, and you can get a beautiful little 3D printed magnet of that skull on the merch drop. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a 3D scan of the skull produced as a fridge magnet.
Yeah.
So, and this piece of artwork, the skeleton, was done by Danny Barrera. So a student up in Alaska. Danny's been digging with us for a number of years, and we went down to Mexico and collected some fossils together and stuff like that. So,
nice, yeah.
But Danny's very, very talented at all sorts of different kinds of art, and did this skeletal and a bunch of other skeletals for us.
Nice,
partly funded by the BLM as well. So
very cool.
Yeah.
Can we go see the jacket over there?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, cool. So yeah, again, if you want to get that shirt, like Denver and Liz were saying, email the shop, and you can get that before it even shows up on the shop page, apparently, if you want to be first in line to get one of those. The first kid on your block to have a Liberty Lambeosaurus t-shirt. Now's your chance.
It used to be looking a bit different than this.
Yeah, this is all cleared away by the excavator, which is up there. Yeah. Nice. So it won't be blue when it's in the museum, when you come to see it years from now. That's a tarp over the top of it.
You want to get down here and say what you're looking at? So,
sure, I will. If I go too low, get out of range of the...
Stand there and I can shout.
There we go.
So the head was about here, and then the neck was here, and then, well, probably more like here, actually. Here, and then the thoracic area. This is actually the back of the rib cage and the hips. And then this is the thigh bone. That there is the lower leg, and then we've got the rest of the foot.
Nice. And we would take the tarp off and show you, but there's a plaster jacket over the whole thing, so you wouldn't be able to see it anyway.
Right, and this is the we were showing photographs of skin that had been found, and in fact there's skin all the way down the leg. It looks like there's skin over the foot with foot pads, maybe sheaths on the claws. Unfortunately, if you go around, well, you probably can't see with the distance you've got, but there's a hole
That sinkhole there? Yeah.
That's a sinkhole, and so over the last few hundreds of years, water has been flowing down here, and it's destroyed the upper part of the femur.
Sinkhole.
Oh, you had the right place.
I know, but it's just fun to use.
I have one too, a green laser that they. I use it for stratigraphy.
Nice.
But so over here, the sinkhole has washed and damaged all of the bone and stuff in this area. So the top of the femur and the hip socket have been obliterated by the water that's flowing through.
Gotcha.
There's little chunks, but there's skin all over the place, and some of it's nice and sort of in a three-dimensional shape. Other parts are all folded and wrapped over each other. Part of the weird thing about this specimen is that it was lying on its right side on the ground, and the left side of the animal has kind of fallen apart and washed around.
Okay.
So the left side of the face, the cheekbone, and the back of the jaw have moved around a little bit. All the left ribs have scattered around all over the place. The entire tail has been washed into this area in pieces. The left arm, and we haven't found the left leg. Don't know where that is. It's probably like over there somewhere. But the right side is embedded in the mud and has all the skin on it.
Beautiful.
So we'll have like a right side of an animal and then a left jumble. Of what's still there. But we've probably got a right arm as well articulated. Certainly we've got the humerus and the lower arm folded up like that, and there was some more bone here.
Gotcha.
But it's in the jacket.
Yeah.
But then we started finding the skin, and it just means the whole preparation process is complicated. Never mind the fact that it's a huge jacket, this one. We've got the other jackets out already. But Steve's got some new equipment in the lab that's going to help with
the
that.
XRF?
Well, we haven't got an XRF, but we're hoping to get some different lighting rigs. With like ultraviolet and a few other different light wavelengths that make it easier to see skin.
Right.
Even if you just snapshot, because we couldn't see this. All it looks like in section is like a little orange line on the rock, but you can see these orange lines are in the rock everywhere. I mean,
it's not uncommon.
Yeah, it's just like an iron-rich horizon. It's very common indeed. So until we actually had one split along the plane, we didn't know there was skin on it. So we hadn't done like too much damage. We dug between a couple of ribs to separate the thoracic area. That's about the only damage we have possibly done to the skin. But it should be pretty wild looking. Like I've got to finish this jacket off, and then we're going to hopefully pull it out this season.
Nice.
And store it somewhere until our new building is up in November.
Nice.
But
November soon. Shoot, that's what, like 5 months from now?
Yeah, well, mid-November is when the walls and everything are going to be up. And
right,
they're doing all the interiors over the winter.
Gotcha.
So we'll have lots of space mid-November, but it won't be truly legally habitable until June the following year.
Gotcha. So people will be able to see this maybe a year or two from now. Go visit and actually see this specimen there.
Oh, I don't know. I wouldn't commit to that. I mean, maybe. It'll certainly be sat there in the building.
Yeah.
But we've got other jackets. We'd probably hit those first. They're smaller, they're more manageable. That way Steve can get to grips with how the different lighting is used. They often look specimen, and then try these different wavelengths of light. And obviously a small tent over like a small jacket's a lot easier than that. I mean, you can do different sections, but he'll figure out a workflow. It's easier to do that on small patches. It's
very cool.
Yep, it'll be another one that will be one of our star specimens. I mean, it already is, because the skull is already on display.
And it's on the t-shirt.
Yeah, on the t-shirt. So as we're starting to get more of these specimens online, it's like I like to say, they're available to view.
Yeah.
They're really cool things.
That'll be really neat. Will you have scans of this available so people can 3D print it at home or anything like that?
I don't know. I mean, it depends how all the sort of licensing and stuff works.
I guess that makes sense.
The skull of this thing is one of our opportunities. We will be selling casts of it.
Nice. Yeah. That's really cool.
Well, we plan to.
Yeah.
Usually that's okay with public specimens, so long as the repository is the one that makes the money out of it.
Gotcha. Yeah.
But that's stuff that we all have. We would have to clear it.
Yeah.
Formally.
Yeah. Very cool. Holy cow. And it's really neat that this specimen is going to an institution where You have people like Steve who are really gung-ho about preserving that, like, not prepping through the skin. Because we know that happens at other institutions.
Yeah, I mean, it is definitely awkward to do.
Yeah.
And the skin on this is beautiful looking. The trouble is you don't want to expose it in the field because if you put glue on it, you affect it chemically. You really just want to avoid it. So we know there's going to be loads of nice skin under there. And they can pick it off grain by grain. I guess we'll see how that goes.
Yeah.
It might be an enormous project. Once we've got that big Tyrannosaur out of the lab, this can go in.
That's going to be really cool.
It's not even the only hadrosaur mummy we've got. Like, there's another hadrosaur mummy at another site which is much nicer skin than this. It's incredible. However, it's a massive concretion.
Yeah.
And it's really hard. I
It's going to be tough to prep.
Well, I don't know where the skin layer is. You assume it's around the outside, but I found fragments of skin that had fallen off the main block and I couldn't find where they'd come out.
Right.
So... You were there, Danny. You've seen that specimen. That's den duck. Remember that one that's coming out with the tail? It's one of the first ones I found in the Hinsdale area.
I do, yeah.
That one has skin.
That's 2017, right? Yeah.
We weren't going to collect it because it's mostly just a tail and a fallen apart back end of a hadrosaur. It's a brachy. But then it's got this really fabulous skin impression. So I'm not quite sure what's going to happen with that. But because it's very difficult to collect. But anyway,
cool.
That's a problem for another day. But this
good problem to have.
This bone layer, so it's not just the skeleton here. The same bone layer that we're excavating over there is kicking out bones over here, and that's basically just the shelf that's down here.
Yeah.
It's we've had a pterosaur bone and raptor bone from there as well, so it's probably shot all the way through this.
So Liz was talking about in the future, inshallah, being able to connect this quarry to that quarry, just dig all the way through with hand tools, just finding stuff all the way along.
Yep, that's I mean,
it's going to be like a multi-decade endeavor here. This is exciting.
Well, potential more people working on this.
Yeah, you could have a huge crew here potentially if you've got the infrastructure for it.
If we had the infrastructure and funding, we could probably double the number of people here. But you've got to have managers who can manage people, especially if they're new people.
Yep.
You know, it's like one manager for every sort of 4 crew members. Then you got to have vehicles and stuff like that. I mean, it's obviously possible. We're very cheap. But I mean, we do 3 months for 20 grand. That's what our field work is.
So if we have any stupendously wealthy viewers right now, if you'd like to make a big dent in dinosaur paleontology, you see what they can do here with 20 grand. Like, imagine what they could do with a larger donation.
I mean, all the
think about
dinosaurs and things we've collected over the last 10 years is probably less than $300,000 in total in fieldwork funding.
Which is amazing, because you've got some incredible stuff for that.
Holotypes of tyrannosaurs and the lambeosaurs and all these multiple ceratopsids that we haven't talked about and things like that.
Yeah.
It's you can do all how to be efficient.
Yep.
You know, you camp and you eat cheaply, and you'll never find a shortage of enthusiastic people who want to come and dig.
Yep.
You know, dedicated people who put up with the weather conditions, etc. So that's never a problem. Now we've got all the overburden cleared. We have a lot of potential.
This is so nice.
To dig.
This is a big ballroom up here. This is like a dance floor.
Yeah.
Set up a tennis court here.
Not sure how nice it is, but it's.
I'm just thinking about how nice it is not to have to remove all this by hand.
It was a ridiculously tall hill.
This is nuts. I mean, look at this. Like, I don't know if you're getting a sense of scale here, but it's impressive. This makes the Yoshi's trike platform look like nothing. I mean,
like you say, this is going to be a 5 to 10 year excavation.
At least, I would imagine. Yeah.
Yeah, depend. You know, as I've said before, our program, it's really important to me that we have an available dig for every person.
Yeah.
In the world, I suppose, not just in America. Like, anyone can come and dig with us, and you don't have to pay thousands of dollars to do so.
Right. Yeah.
You really have to make these things possible, because there's going to be all sorts of smart and great people who are now in grad school. You know, and you never know who's going to be the smartest dinosaur paleontologist of the next generation.
Yep.
You got to give people opportunities a week.
Really good point. Really good point. Yeah. shoot, if the Museum of the Rockies didn't have that program for free back when I was an undergrad, like, I wouldn't have gone to that college, and I probably wouldn't be here right now. So I'm personally very grateful for that, and yeah, it's nice to be able to pay that forward, you know?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, it's one of the things I've been really pleased with how happy people have been, and
Yeah.
you see people have had a really good time.
Yeah.
And
Wag was saying the
learned
other
a
night,
lot,
he's like,
and-
this is such a good group of people. He was like, he was emotional about it. He's like, this is incredible. Like, what an experience to be able to do this. We're very lucky, you know?
Well, like I think I may have mentioned before, like I'm considering trying to do a sort of lab field work and put up with these conditions.
Sure, yeah. Yeah.
So there might be opportunities next year or maybe the year after for a lab kind of version.
Uh-huh.
We'll see. But you know, I am concerned with the rise of this commercial stuff that fossils and dinosaurs get limited
Right.
in who can access them and who can see them. You have to live in a big city if you're lucky.
Yeah.
You know, so
Paywalled and geolocked almost.
I mean, this is where they come from, and there's still not that much locally. Like,
Yeah.
we need to be able to do something about that.
Mm-hmm. Cool.
Without getting too preachy, here's your laserback.
Thanks.
So,
Preachiness is the name of the game here. This is what I do on stream all day. I'm only half kidding. But yeah, no, it's how cool being here, and I don't know. I'm sad this is my last day of fieldwork out here in Montana. But you ran a tight ship, Denver. This is quite the program you got here.
well, it's growing.
Yeah.
I am very pleased with it.
Uh-huh. So can you give us a little bit of a brief timeline of when you started in North Dakota? Because what was it, 2015 or
It was April 2016 that I started as curator in
Right.
Dickinson, North
So it would have been like January 2015. I think I drove you out from Bozeman in my car so you could do the interviews.
No, it would have been January 2016.
2016. Okay, yeah. No, that's right. That's right. Yeah.
We stayed in the hotel with the big dogs.
It's a weird hotel. It had like 3 rooms in it, and yeah, it was.
That was all good.
Yeah.
It all came good in the end, so that's great.
We ate a lot of Little Caesars pizza on the way over. I remember.
Did we?
Yeah.
Okay.
I was like, my
You
treat.
remember all these things. I don't remember this stuff at all.
Well, I tell stories for a living, so like I gotta remember a lot of the details. But I'm like, hey, my treat, $5, and you're like, thanks.
No, there weren't that many people that applied for the job.
Yeah.
And I was always fairly surprised. I mean, it wasn't a small number. There was still like well over 10 people
Yeah.
on the interview list. But
So jobs are few and far between in dinosaur paleontology.
But
It's-
I think
yeah.
that many people like didn't see the potential.
Yeah.
And it's not a big name museum.
Mhm.
But I went there, and there's a great big exhibit hall. They've got a lab. They've
Yeah.
got some space.
Yeah.
Not a huge amount of space for collections, but enough to get going.
Yeah.
And
And this was a museum that opened kind of during the Jurassic Park craze of the early 90s, right?
yeah, just before it opened in 1992.
And it was
So-
private to start with?
Yeah, Larry League was a professor at Dickinson State University, and he had a
okay.
collection of minerals and some fossils, and so he opened this museum.
Uh-huh.
The building was always owned by the city,
Okay.
and him and his wife Alice League ran it for a number of years, and then when they retired in 2015, the city acquired the collection. They already owned the building.
Ah, okay.
And it was on the condition that they employ somebody qualified to look after it. So
Uh-huh.
that was me.
Nice.
And
Yeah.
we've grown a bit. You know, we added a preparator position,
Mm-hmm.
and we added a half position, effectively, for the collections manager position, collections manager education position. So there's like 3 people there now, and you know, we got a bit of money together for the field work, and I was really lucky that my director believed in me and believed in me when I said that. You know, you go out and do field work, you find new fossils,
Yeah.
and that's what you build your collection with. It's much
Right.
cheaper than buying fossils, and
1,000
you-
times cheaper, yeah.
I
Yeah.
wanted to show the whole process, like,
Yeah.
not just at the very end when you've just published a paper. Here's this thing you'd never heard of until today.
Yeah.
It's like, why not show it being dug up, being discovered, then
Yeah.
being prepped in the lab and sticking the exhibits together and all that kind of thing.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, I think trust in science is being eroded because people don't really know what we do.
Right. They just see
And-
the end product. They don't see the actual process of science.
Yeah, and it's like if you understand that these are just regular people doing a job.
This is not an ivory tower thing. Yeah.
No, and I think people like to see all that too. You know,
I agree.
You see how it's all come together. And of course, field work is fun. It's so that's kind of the model that we've done, and like I say, we've had a bit of support and really managed to build something.
Yeah.
We are one of, if not the biggest field program in North America. That sounds like a ridiculous claim, but we run 2 to 3 crews for 3 months. And there's not many people who do that. MOI used to do it, but they don't anymore.
Right.
North Carolina have a really big program.
Ours in Wyoming, we had, 35 people in camp when I left?
Yep.
But that's for a month. This is 3 months out here. So.
But there's not that many really big programs, and I'm really proud that we're one of them.
Yeah.
Because, we're hitting well above our weight in terms of what we're producing from the field.
Oh, yeah.
Of course, you've got to always have, you've got to find cool stuff. So I was very fortunate that Jack Wilson was with me when we started scouting some of these areas, because he's really good at finding things.
World-class prospector.
Dare I say he's better than me? Don't know. It's
you taught him, so.
Well, he was very good at learning.
Yeah.
I think you got to have that spark and.
Yep. And that drive, like he wants to find things. He's hungry for it. Like you see him walking around. It's.
Yeah, we're both very competitive. He's better at running up the hills than I am these days. But once you teach people a few of the tricks, how to identify things and stuff, and then people like Jack, they just take off.
Yeah,
and
they run with it. They learn new things. They learn on their own. Yeah.
Exactly. You just got to give them the tools.
Yeah.
And the mental tools.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's very, very fortunate that me and him scouted up and down here and found so many of these sites. 10 years ago. Well, this one was this is 6-7 years ago now, but the other area was 10 years ago.
Yeah.
And we've been living off them ever since. We found a few new things, of course, a few new sites, but like the egg site was just last year. But you need a good crew.
Yeah. We're lucky to have it. So I got to go get some water. But Denver's got his right there.
Water out
exactly. Yeah, I should have done the same thing.
I can just squirt you with it.
That's okay.
I'd be perfectly happy.
You would be perfectly happy. Yeah. Yeah, so this is what it's really like, chat. This is what I like to show people. This is how we actually dig up dinosaurs. Not like in Jurassic Park, nor is it like in that, was it Discovery Channel show? Dino Hunters. No, this is the real deal here. And Pumpkin the Cat. No, so there are no legal protections in the United States for dinosaur fossils if they're on private land. It doesn't matter how important the specimen is. If it's on private land, it's the property of the private landowner. But again, that's on private land. We're digging here on public land. Bureau of Land Management, federally protected. And so, this is a public land institution here. So these fossils are the property of the people of the United States, not any private landowner. And that's why they can go into a public repository. They need to go into a public repository. And that's one of the cool things, too, is that when Denver started off at the Badlands Dinosaur Museum, they were not a federal repository yet. That's something that you have to apply for. You have to be able to demonstrate that you've got the facilities and the people and the security and the temperature control and everything else that you need to keep those fossils safe and happy, so to speak. You don't want things crumbling on the shelves because you have massive temperature and humidity fluctuations. You need, proper security so that people can't wander in and walk off with things. And there's other stipulations and stuff too. But they were able to fulfill that, and they are now federally recognized as a repository at the museum. So that's the reason why you can have federal fossils there, if that makes sense. Yeah. Mosquito. Got her. I keep swatting these mosquitoes too quickly. I want to take a picture of one so I can put it on iNaturalist, but When you see a mosquito biting you, you don't really want to pause there. I think you can understand that impulse, chat. Gene Wen says, "Are you sad you don't get to traumatize children? What do you think these streams are for?" No, you mean in Jurassic Park with Sam Neill's character and the dromaeosaur claw? Yeah, we don't get a lot of children here at the site. It's pretty remote. But yeah.
That's what undergrads are for.
There you go. Yeah. Traumatize them. Yeah. I don't know. I'll say that there was probably a lot more traumatizing of undergrads in a friendly way. Back before some of these folks became museum curators. When people are grad students, I don't know. They tend to be a bit more goofy and fun, I guess. But, everybody gets older and more mature, hopefully at least. I guess that's a goal. But, yeah.
Got a hadrosaur phalanx here.
Oh, you do? Oh, nice.
Here, I'll get out of the way so you can...
Yeah? Thank you, Taya. Oh, neat. Yeah, look at that. So, toe bone. You don't think that's manual, right? That'd be huge if it were from the hand.
Beetle, but Liz is the expert.
Yeah.
There's also a very textured bone on the other side.
Interesting. Oh, this right here?
Nope. Other side of the pedestal, right next to the phalanx.
Right there?
Nope.
What am I looking at? Oh, here, yeah.
Look at the phalanx right
Your other
here.
left. Okay. Oh, right there. Okay, yeah.
Where you least expect it.
Interesting. Weird.
Yeah.
Wonder what that'll turn into.
It's got heavy texturing to
Yeah.
it.
Yeah, but I could see this being like a distal pedal ungule.
Yeah.
Or not ungule, phalanx.
Yeah.
Yeah, so there's the articular end, or the proximal end. So the other toe bone would be behind that there. And then maybe the ungule is right there. Maybe there's another one after it. I don't know. Those would know. If it's a digit 4, then they've got the most phalanges, right?
I think so.
Yeah. Interesting.
Denver's got a memory trick for those.
Yeah?
Yeah.
The 1, 2, 3, 4 thing?
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, digit 1's got 1 phalanx, 2 has 2, 3 has 3, 4 has 4. So it's a pretty simple memory trick, but yeah. Nice. I wonder if we can get Liz over here and have her assess. Has she looked yet?
She has seen it.
Oh, okay. I won't bug her
But she
then.
has not mapped it yet.
Ah, okay.
It is staying in the ground until
Nice.
said mapping has occurred.
Does she need a reminder, you think?
Maybe.
Okay, let's go try our luck. I'll try not to clothesline myself on this line right here. Yeah. There you go, Queen Dark Lady. I get that. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, Liz is in the middle of digging. I'm not gonna bug her.
Always digging. Well, hopefully.
Oh, okay. There's that hadrosaur phalanx over there. If you would like to assess that for the camera, that might be interesting. And Taya says you also need to map it before she can cover it.
I do need to map it. That's right. I was supposed to map it.
Yeah.
Time is flying.
Freaky Feline says, is it even possible for private landowners to, ask paleontologists to dig and let the scientists research on their findings? Oh, yeah. Yeah, that happens. We get private landowners who, will invite us out to their land sometimes, but you got to make sure that you have things in writing, Anytime it's private land, you got to make sure that you've got all your ducks in a row, legally speaking. Yeah, I've heard stories. But there are private landowners who have been very good to paleontologists in the past. So we've been very grateful for that. Yeah. So what do you think? Could that be like a digit 4 distal phalanx?
Well, it's pedal. It's definitely from the foot. Not that big. This is not an adult.
Right, okay.
I don't know exactly which toe of the foot it is. I'd have to look at another foot for comparison.
Okay.
It's slightly asymmetrical, but not too far.
At this point,
and it's not completely flattened. Like the really distal ones get very
okay.
flat wedge, so this is a little more proximal.
Okay.
But it's not the proximal one on the middle toe.
Gotcha.
So yeah, one of the side toes perhaps.
Okay.
Or it could be the. So it's not the most proximal phalanx, but it could be the next phalanx.
Okay.
I mean, we only have 3. They have more on some of the toes.
Have they lost their hallux by this point?
Yeah.
So there's no more digit 1. They completely got rid of it.
Yeah, hadrosaurs on the foot just have 2, 3, 4.
Gotcha. Yeah.
On the hand, it's more like this.
Right.
And so the pinky sticks out and it looks like a thumb.
Yeah,
but it's actually the pinky. But yeah, that's.
Do they still have a metatarsal there? Or is that
the
gone
hands
too?
are a little weird.
Yeah. Huh. I know there's theropods who do that too. Ornithomimosaurs, they get rid of their hallux. Got no more digit 1.
Yeah, and then there's a rib under there. I can't lean on that. There's bones everywhere. There's another bone that's under the toe bone. And it has texture, it has ridges on it.
Huh.
Ooh, and it just moved. Okay, that doesn't have glue on it. I'm gonna not touch that.
I think I hit it with glue too. That's the weird thing.
I think that the glue is way too
thin
right now. I stuck some extra beads in. I don't know if it just got refilled with a new batch or something, but it needs way more beads. The stuff I've been using is just water. Acetone. Yeah, I don't know what to map it as, but yeah, okay, so I'll map those 2 things. This was a couple of ribs.
Yeah.
2 or 3 ribs.
A stack of ribs.
Stack of ribs. That's back there.
And then the head of the really long rib with
Yeah.
the hammers is there.
That's a cool rib down there. Okay.
Cool. Could we take a peek at the map so far, just to see what that looks like, or is that proprietary?
You can look at the map.
I like these metal clipboards too. I used to have one like that, and I lost it somewhere in a move or something.
Yeah,
but they're really nice
great
to have.
for keeping all your different bits.
They have the Right in the Rain ones with the zipper on them, but I have one of those. It's kind of just not the same.
Yeah, I had one of the Rain plastic ones, but it doesn't latch as securely.
Yeah,
so I was always afraid of it blowing open. So this page of the map doesn't look like much because I just restarted. Older map pages. Like there's an older map page.
So each one of those is numbered, different elements. So you're drawing the shape on there, but giving it a number that corresponds to a list, presumably?
Yeah, so every single bone every single bone that's significant enough to warrant a number. We don't do every single little tooth. They can just go in a lump bag. But all of the larger bones or scientifically significant bones, they get a field number. And so we're up to 838. So that's what we've gotten out of this site over the last 4 or 5 years.
838 loggable specimens.
Yeah, so
for every one of those that goes into here, you've probably got 10 or 20 that don't, like little teeth and scales and.
Yeah, so every day we're taking a gallon Ziploc or 2 of other smaller things like teeth and smaller bones.
So literally thousands of specimens from this site. So far.
Yes.
That is impressive. And I guess with the size of the quarry, that makes a lot of sense.
We always find more in the jackets as well because it's so rich.
So like in these plaster jackets here, Chad, you turn those over, they've got sediment inside under the bones.
Exactly. So like that upper one there, we know that there's 2 ribs.
Yeah.
But there's also a lot of sediment still in there. And when they clean it in the lab, they come across a lot of these small things.
Right, yeah.
And that's how we found mammal jaws and fish jaws and some gorgeous salamander jaws, actually.
Nice.
Really nice salamander jaws.
There have been entire new genera of dinosaurs discovered that way, just like bonus in a jacket.
Oh, absolutely.
In Thermopolis, they've got that little troodontid from the Morrison that came out of a Supersaurus jacket. It's just there, like, under the hips or something.
Well, yeah. I mean, you got a lot of extra storage space.
But yeah.
Yep.
Very cool. Thanks, Liz. Yeah. Neat. Yeah. Here, I'll try and be a little bit more responsive to the chat here. There's just so much going on, and cool things to talk about with the crew chiefs. And Freaky Feline says, what do you guys do with the fossils that are too small and not relevant to your research? Well, everything's relevant to our research to a certain extent. If we think something's not relevant, we won't collect it. But everything that gets collected, because we're digging on federal land, needs to go into the federal repository, into the museum. So we're going to have tons and tons of fish scales and shark bits and tyrannosaur teeth and just all kinds of little stuff like that that'll be there in the collections. And even if no one here who works at the museum wants to work on that stuff, it is there in the museum for all time for anybody who wants to stop by and study it. So there's a lot of visiting researchers who have been coming to Dickinson, North Dakota to visit the museum and look through the collections and work on different specimens. And that's pretty cool too. It's another way that like a museum like that is really a boon for the town, where that's, I guess you wouldn't call it tourist dollars, but that's researcher dollars coming in. If somebody flies in from Italy or China or Brazil to come look at those specimens, then they're, they might be paying for a hotel room, they're eating at local restaurants, they're visiting Dickinson, North Dakota, and that brings a little bit of money into the town. In comparison to the number of visitors who visit the town in order to go to the museum and just see what's on display. But it's not nothing, There's been a good number of visitors, as I understand it, who come to the collections in Dickinson and poked around.
Yeah.
Including some of the people who were here in the chat earlier. Filippo Bertozzo, Dyson Dinosaur, he came to Dickinson to study the Warwick's duck specimen. So yeah. Yeah, good stuff. And thank you, Jonah Ryan, for the Prime. I appreciate that, Jonah. Thank you. Yeah.
And then you'll have it when you empty.
Good stuff.
You'll have it back. Well, yeah, it probably shouldn't come out till tomorrow, actually, because the glue will need time to set.
Sure.
And you still need time to dig around it and things.
If you were to make an estimate so far of the number of visiting researchers who've come to Dickinson to look at specimens in the collections,
We get
is it a ballpark number?
Well, I mean, several a year.
Uh-huh.
It's not. I'm not pretending it's like a huge amount, but like
No, but
we get.
it's continuing to grow as
Oh,
as you
yeah,
get
I
more
mean, we
specimens.
Are you counting repeat visitors? I mean,
You got a mosquito on your right cheek, remember? Oh, there you go.
We get a few each year.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a lot of the material we've collected isn't published yet.
Yeah.
People aren't aware of it yet.
So it's still early days.
And I suppose I also think, a lot of the visiting researchers that we get to study this stuff are people who've been on our field crew who've come out
Sure.
for a special visit and they stay in our basement and describe some specimens.
I did that last February. Not to describe specimens, but we need to do that again. We can finally finish that Spinosaur paper. But yeah.
It'd be good.
Yeah. I wonder how long it'll be until somebody has to build a hotel next door to the museum for all the visiting researchers flocking to Badlands Dinosaur Museum.
Well, there is a hotel over the road.
Yeah.
Literally half a block away on the other side of the road.
Nice.
And there's lots of hotels, 3 or 4 blocks, just usually on the other side of the highway. I mean, there's
Oh, loads.
Oh, yeah.
There's loads of hotels.
Yeah.
yeah.
But
So,
it'd be cool to have a dinosaur hotel, though,
well, I think like a theme restaurant,
Yeah.
theme bar, theme
Yeah.
hotel type thing is a possibility.
I mean, that's the thing, is that when I came through Dickinson, long before you applied for the job or anything, I saw it on Google Maps. There's like T-Rex shopping center and dinosaur this and dinosaur that. I get whole kind of holdovers from the. It'd be cool to see a as your museum gains acclaim and becomes better known.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we're
Yeah.
very close to the national park, the Theodore Roosevelt National Park.
Uh-huh.
So there's a lot of traffic comes through Dickinson anyway. We
Yeah.
should really give them an excuse to pull over.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
they literally are driving through, and kids would probably like to see the dinosaur museum, and they
Yeah.
can come in when it's raining.
There you go. Yeah.
That sort of thing.
And there's a McDonald's right across the street, so like, Mom, I want a Happy Meal! Like let's go see the dinosaurs. Yeah.
There's the McDonald's. There's lots of fast food restaurants and
Yeah, yeah.
other kinds of restaurants right in the area. I mean, Dickinson is one of the only places for quite some distance, at least like 80 miles either side.
Yeah.
Where you can actually pull over and get a choice of different kinds of restaurants and food to eat, and lots of gas stations, etc.
Yeah.
So I mean, that should always be our aim, is to get a lot of that national park traffic and really build tourism in the area.
Nice.
That's part of my pitch to the local support thing.
There you go. And the jail is right across the street, so you could have a special, like you make bail and you get free admission to the museum.
Yeah, the county jail.
County jail, okay.
The sheriff's office, anyway.
Yeah.
There's not that much of a jail there. There's a few cells, I think.
Yeah. These are the things you got to think about when you run a museum like this. It's not all academic stuff. It's not all science. You're running an institution, and that it takes a certain kind of person to be able to think about all this stuff. And like, not everybody has a skill set for that. So they're lucky they got you, Dever.
Thanks. I think there's a lot of learning on the job, and I do agree that it's very different working in a museum from working as a professor at university.
Yeah.
And like many people don't really realize what that is. I've always been attached to museums, like whether it was working with Bob Sullivan, the Pennsylvania State Museum, working in New Mexico, Dinosaur Farm Museum on the Isle of Wight, the Museum of the Rockies, of course, even some of the work in Bristol. Like there's that whole putting things out to the public.
Yeah.
And it's, and trying to make things as visible as possible. There's just different skill sets. I mean, I know more about light bulbs than I ever care to, and light fittings and how to make things look nice.
I know that's a constant battle. There's so many light bulbs so high up in the ceiling. Yeah.
We just got a lift to be able to change them now.
Nice.
We had training on how to drive it the other day, so for me that's amazing. Like, I can just go in there and sort my lights out finally. Like, there's been one that's in the wrong socket and it's too wide, and it puts light over things it shouldn't.
Yeah.
But like, you do need those different skills, and I mean, aside from anything else, it's just really enjoyable. Like putting things on display, seeing the public come in every day and see the things that you made.
That's got to be really rewarding. Like, you know that you're making a difference and people appreciate it. Like, there's a tangibility to that you probably don't always get in academic paleontology. If you're just publishing papers, it's like, how many members of the general public actually learn about this stuff? But when you put it up on display, it's something different, you know?
One of my favorite things that happened in the display was when it was just after I started, actually. I would have been there maybe a year or so. And I was showing this family around the exhibit, telling them about stuff. And this little kid was pointing out how our information on raptors was all wrong. And how they actually would stand on top of their prey and flap their wings and stuff. And I never told him that I actually wrote that paper. So I imagine he'll wake up in a cold sweat middle of the night and realize that was me. But,
wait, so the kid was telling his family that, or telling you that?
He was telling me. He was like, "Oh,
that's so funny.
Raptors are wrong. This is how they would do things."
So he had read your paper, and he was correcting, or he'd heard about your research.
It was before we had the claws exhibit out.
Right.
It was like
so these are the old exhibits that he was looking at.
Yeah.
That's really funny. That's really funny. Yeah.
That's a nice raptor tooth.
It's quite fun.
It's like when one of my family members sends me an article or something. They're like, "Oh, Danny, did you see this?" I'm like, "You didn't read the article, did you?" I'm in the article. Yeah.
Brandon got.
You might not have seen it, you see.
Oh yeah. Nice. What's that?
You might not have seen it if it's in an academic journal.
Yeah.
You know, you might have written the paper. It doesn't mean you have access to it.
Yeah. Fair. I told you about what happened with Cretaceous research, where they wouldn't send me a copy of the paper. I'm one of the authors. Yeah.
Yeah, they'd heard about you see.
I guess so. My reputation precedes me in a bad way. Brandon, you got another tooth over here?
I do.
Nice.
Come on over, get right on my left side here.
Okay. Look at that. That's a big one.
Oh.
It's like a dromaeosaur, maybe?
There's a finger for scale, a band-aided finger.
Very nice.
Yeah.
Super cool. That's a beauty. Really shiny. Very nice.
Cool. One today.
Oh, sorry, John. Oh, you're cool. You're cool. It's a rib head over here? Yeah. So,
We're slowly getting that out, and the rainfall, man, it's soaked in the matrix below, and we're trying to pull it out tomorrow, just so no more natural fracturing occurs. But I mean,
especially with all the rain we're getting.
All the pieces are here, and it's really exciting. And it may be associated with this over here. We don't really know, but I mean, it's mapped out, it's ready to go. So, or it's soon to be. So
Nice. Very cool. That stuff coming out of the quarry left and right. Never a dull moment. Well, I can't say that, but, the dull moments can offer a little bit of respite around here. But, Any question for Denver and Liz from Golganek? Have you noticed a drop-off in visiting international researchers due to current conditions? Probably not, because they don't have that many to start with right now. So the sample size is going to be pretty low. But, well, I do know of a couple of researchers who would love to be able to visit the States right now, who won't be able to because of current conditions, so yeah, I don't know. That's the thing, is like, when something doesn't happen, you don't hear about it. So that's a difficult kind of question, But yeah, I do know a number of people who are not going to be attending this year's Society of Vertebrate Paleontology meeting. Because they live overseas and things are bad here in the States right now. Yeah. Anywho, oh, and holy cow, who is this? Sharp Balloons and Raiders. Sorry you came in at a... well, I was saying something not super happy, but welcome, Sharpies. Thanks for joining us. Sharp Balloons, how are you doing? Welcome to Paleontologizing. Welcome to northern Montana. Welcome to a live dinosaur dig here in the late Cretaceous. Rock's about 76 million years old. We're digging with the Badlands Dinosaur Museum out of Dickinson, North Dakota. This is my last day of fieldwork in Montana, so you came in at a lovely time. Let me know if you've got any questions. It's great to have you here. Thanks for joining us. Good stuff. How was your stream, by the way, Sharp Balloons? I hope it was really good. Glad you could show up. Oh, let me introduce myself for any new viewers. My name is Danny Anduza. I'm a dinosaur paleontologist. I'm here on Twitch trying to do some good old-fashioned science outreach. And for maybe about 8 months out of the year, I stream from my office back home in the San Francisco Bay Area. Talking about fossils, going over new scientific papers, trying to introduce people to the history of life on Earth as told through the fossil record. I interview other paleontologists and do 3D printing and tons of viewer Q&A. And thanks to the magic of Twitch and satellite internet, we can bring the Q&A out here to the field. So usually about 2 or 3 months out of every year, I'm out digging up dinosaurs and other critters in various parts of the United States. I'm up in Montana. I've been here for almost 2 weeks now. And it's my last day of digging here in Montana. Tomorrow, I set out back home for California. So it'll be a bit of a hiatus until I go back out to Utah. I'll be digging up some more dinosaurs there with the Utah Geological Survey. But for now, we get to enjoy the majesty of Montana and all these cool fossils coming out of this site. So welcome. Yeah. And there you go, Dirter Bust, yeah. Too many scientific discoveries you'll never hear about? Yeah. I mean, there's new papers being published every day in paleontology. And very few of those will show up in the news on your phone home screen or whatever. I even find it difficult to keep up with all of the fossil news. New publications coming out all the time. But when I'm back in my office, we'll actually be back 8th or so. We'll probably do a big fossil news recap stream. All the stuff that I missed while I was out in Wyoming and now in Montana. There have been a lot of papers I haven't had a chance to read. A lot of fossil news has come out. So we'll do a great big recap of all that, and I'm looking forward to it. Yeah, that's kind of one of my goals for this year, is to be a little bit more organized about fossil news and discussing these new papers and stuff. So I'll be working on that. But anyway, let me know if you've got any questions, everybody. It's wonderful to have you here. And I'm glad. Latigo Smith says, Danny, thank you for bringing us along on the dig. It has been amazing. I appreciate the kind words, and I'm glad it's been meaningful to you, you know? It's a joy to be able to share this with you, so I'm glad you've enjoyed it. Yeah. Again, we're in terms of field work, so we've got up. Let me check on my battery here. See how we're doing. So okay, we still got two lights. 2 out of 4, we're doing okay. Yeah. When do you get back out into the field after heading home, says Geeks Tour? It's not too early to ask. So I'm heading out of Montana tomorrow. Takes a few days to get home. Really looking forward to that shower in the hotel tomorrow night. Yeah, so I will do a stream on Monday coming up, like a fieldwork recap stream. And then after that, I'm heading on a little vacation, going up to Michigan with Ios and Lordy. That's going to be a lot of fun. And I don't think I'll be streaming from there. Sorry. But I'll be trying to catch up on fossil news, read some papers I missed out on, catch up on email correspondence and other work and stuff. It's going to be good, but it'll be nice to take a little break. I've been running pretty much non-stop for the past month, doing field work and streaming almost every day. But yeah, then I think around July 8th, 9th, something like that, I'll do some more streams from my office. And then I think fieldwork in Utah starts July 14th. I think that's when we leave. And it'll take me a couple days to get out there, so last office stream will probably be like, I don't know, the 11th or so. Let me look at my calendar. Yeah, let's see here. Calendar. All right. So get back from Michigan on the 7th. So yeah, I might do a stream 7th, 8th, 9th. And then 10, 11, 12, 13. Maybe I'll stream on the 13th. We'll see. I gotta sort some of this stuff out. But yeah, have another 3 weeks of fieldwork streams out in Utah. And then just come back to California, do some office streams. Then hopefully have some more fieldwork in late September in Utah. And about mid-September, I'm hopefully going to be doing some leatherback turtle fieldwork in Monterey, which I don't think I can stream. But I'm really excited to do that, and hopefully I'll have some good photos and videos and lots of cool stories for you. So that'll be cool to recap that later. So anyway, lots of field work left. This is by no means the end for this year. Oh, and Latigo Smith says, if I wanted to get a paleontology newsletter, magazine, or journal for someone without a degree in the field, what would you recommend? So you mean like for a non-specialist? There's some really good news websites. They tend to have good stuff. There's scinews.com, I think. And they have like a paleontology page. So that's a good place to keep up to date on new publications. So they do a lot of press releases. It's not just the scientific paper, but it'll be a little write-up that's conceived for the general public. So they will write a little summary as like a news article and have it there. So SciNews does this, and then I think phys.org, phys.org, has a good one too. There you go, Charlie's Dragon. Yeah, SciNews. I think SciNews has a paleontology. There we go. Is that at the top? That's so cool. Yeah. Yeah, paleontology. There you go. Copy link. Beautiful. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, and phys.org has that too. Recommend those. Those are good places. The things you can do, I do this at home, is on your desktop, one of your home pages. So when you first open up your browser, that's one of the things that first pops up. It's a nice way to keep up to date with these things. And also, if you're on social media, like I'm on Blue Sky, you can follow a bunch of different paleontologists on there and Tom Holtz is a wonderful guy to follow on Blue Sky. He's always posting new paleontological papers and press releases and stuff. I think his Blue Sky handle is Arctomet. Arctomet. It's short for arctometatarsalien condition. It's a thing that tyrannosaurs have in their lower leg. But yeah. And Michigan will be a vacation. Yeah. I might do a little bit of fossil there, but fossils. We'll see if I get lucky. And speaking engagement in Toronto, I've never actually up in generally that takes an invitation. You can't just invite yourself. So I'd certainly be open to that. Yeah. But yeah, John Dre says I live in Michigan. Yeah, I'll be up in the west side of Michigan, west coast. If you know where like Ludington is, Frankfurt, I'll be kind of up in that area. So I love that part of the world. It's really nice. Yeah, gonna be spending some time on the beach. Yeah, might even get to go see some sturgeon, which would be incredibly cool. I'd love to see some lake sturgeon. What a cool critter. But we'll see. Yeah. Neat. Yeah. Oh, and thank you, Claire. Yeah. I forgot about that starter pack. Excellent. Is Ludington named for Luddites? I don't know, Claire Burr. I kind of doubt it. Oh, yeah, and you get sturgeon in the Pacific Northwest. Those are they like Pacific white sturgeon, I think? They're not pallid sturgeon. We get pallid sturgeon in this part of the world. In fact, in the Milk River, which is just a little south of us here. Is it south of us? Anyway, in this area, you get pallid sturgeon in Montana and in the Dakotas. Really cool critters. You get, I think it's white sturgeon on the west coast. Get them in the San Francisco Bay Area too, where I'm from. And then you get lake sturgeon out in the Great Lakes. Yeah. Cool. Didn't realize they were so specious. Yeah, there's a fair number of sturgeon species. They're not terribly diverse, but there's a few of them. Yeah. Certainly a lot more speciose than their closest living relative. Chat, tell me who that is. Cue the Jeopardy music. This bizarre long-nosed fish is the closest living relative of the sturgeon. What is it? Anybody know it? Not the pike, Zephyr Fire. No, not the gar, not the swordfish. Not the sawfish either. Sawfish is a cartilaginous fish. Claire, you got it. You got it. Although you're supposed to answer in the form of a question. Yeah. The answer was yes. There you go. And Claire Burr for 1,000. Yes, 1,000 points. What is a paddlefish? Yes, indeed. We get paddlefish fossils here. We were just talking about that earlier in the quarry, actually. We'll ask Liz about that real quick. What kind of elements? What kind of elements do you get from paddlefish in here? Because you get them here, right?
For vertebrae and the occasional scale, they're not common.
Yeah.
Like they exist. They're not common, these deposits.
Yeah.
Like it's very much garfish.
Interesting, yeah. So I guess they're more common in the modern then. Because you get paddlefish in Montana and in the Dakotas too.
Well, yeah, they exist, but
yeah.
Would I say they're more common than walleye? No.
No, I mean, they're more common in the modern than they are as fossils. Maybe not.
I'd say they're uncommon in both.
Yeah, it's a shame because they're so cool.
They are. I love paddlefish.
They're really, really neat. Yeah.
I know. Yeah, one of the people that works at Dickinson State, her husband was going to go fishing for a paddlefish, and if he caught it, I was going to get the skeleton.
Oh.
He didn't get one. Not this year, but maybe next year.
Yeah, that would be really neat.
I know. We do have a paddlefish in alcohol. And it's so bendy and floppy. It's just cartilage.
Yeah.
And it's really cool.
Really neat. Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah. If you're ever in this part of the world and you get a chance to go to a fish hatchery and see some paddlefish, it's well worth it. They're really cool. They might even have them inside cabela's or whatever. A lot of those places, they'll, it's like a rural Disneyland. You walk in and they have all these people are taking pictures and look at this. But sometimes they'll have sturgeon and gar and paddlefish like in the aquarium in the store, and those are always super cool to see. Yeah, but paddlefish are awesome. They're so neat, and I think there might only be one species still around, because I think the Chinese paddlefish might be extinct now, unfortunately, which is it's tragic. Somebody looked that up. Is the Chinese paddlefish thought to be just extremely rare, or is it thought to be extinct? I hope it's the former. Yeah. But yeah. Oh, and it is bonkers. Those hybrids between sturgeon and paddlefish, they diverged in like the Jurassic or Triassic period. Like they should not be able to hybridize, and yet they can in the lab. That's insane. Wiki says extinct. That's tragic. So we've got one species of paddlefish left in the world. The American paddlefish. But man, they're cool. I really want to, I was telling the crew this earlier, I really want to 3D print a big paddlefish model for my office back home. I think that would be really cool. And yeah. I gotta find a good model on, well, let me look right now while we've got the internet up. Let's see. Sketchfab. Paddlefish. Images. Alright. Visit. View all. Filters. Downloadable. Apply. It's loading. I gotta find a good model of a paddlefish I can download and print, because I think that'd be rad. I'd love to have that in my office. I don't know if there's any that are downloadable. Shoot, I might have to... Drat. Oh well. One of these days I'll track one down. That'd be really cool to have a model of a paddlefish, so I don't have to sculpt it myself. But we'll see. Yeah. And Tennessee Aquarium in Chattanooga has a lot of paddlefish. Very cool, blackheads, man. That's neat. I gotta see if there's any cool aquaria in... Is there a cool aquarium in Memphis? Because I'm gonna be going there for a wedding at some point this autumn, and I would love to be able to see if they've got paddlefish there. Yeah. And Gene One says, aren't paddlefish and sturgeons endangered? Certain species of sturgeon are. And yeah, the paddlefish are... I think they're stocked in a lot of places, so like the only reason they exist in a lot of lakes and rivers nowadays is that they're bred in captivity and released, because the people who want to catch them, I guess, have a lot of influence. And like, one of the reasons why there's so much money that goes into hatching them, you know, propagating them in captivity. I'm not particularly enthusiastic about the idea of catching and eating an endangered species, but some people are really into that. I don't know. Life is a rich tapestry, I guess, with all different kinds of people. American paddlefish are vulnerable but not endangered. Even so, Charlie's Dragon. But yeah, thank you. Yeah. Memphis Zoo has a large aquarium. Oh, cool, Claire. I wonder if I'll have time to go visit.
Okay.
Yeah.
Start cleaning up and packing up.
All right. Oh, well, we're gonna start wrapping up here. So yeah, let me mosey on up here, and we'll sign off. Don't go away just yet, chat. We're gonna see if we can right into somebody else doing some science. And given that it is Wednesday afternoon / Wednesday evening, I bet you Rhacodactylus is doing some science outreach right now. We'll see what he's up to. He's gearing up to go full-time here on Twitch. So let's see about that. But yeah, this is our last Fieldwork stream from Montana this season. So thank you for joining me for it. And again, don't go away. Let's go see what... Is Reiko on right now? There we go. Oh, is Reiko not on yet? Shoot. Maybe he's doing other stuff. Oh, no, he is. Oh, excellent. Good, good, good. Okay. Reiko. Dactylus. Excellent. Thank you, everybody, for being here. Thank you for joining us for this fieldwork in Montana. It's been an honor and a privilege to bring you along and introduce you to the crew and show you our work out here. We feel very lucky to be able to do this, and I feel very lucky to be able to share it with you. I really appreciate your viewership, your enthusiasm, your questions, your curiosity, and your financial support. I couldn't be here without that, so thank you very much for that. For those of you who donated to help support the museum or bought merch off of the website, I know they're very appreciative, and you're going to enjoy that merch. It's going to be great. Yeah, tomorrow morning I head out of Montana on my way back home to California, so it's going to be a few days. I think my next stream will be Monday. So Wednesday to Monday, that's more time off than I normally take. But I look forward to seeing everybody again after I get home. Yeah, you all take care of yourselves. Thank you so much for being here, and let's go see what Rhacodactylus is up to. A fellow scientist here on Twitch, a cognitive scientist who studies why people believe weird things, everything from internet rumors and conspiracy theories to pseudoscience and pseudo-medicine and stuff like that. He studies why people believe that stuff and how we as scientists can help combat misinformation. So we'll see what he's up to today. Again, I'll see everybody on Monday, I hope. You all take care of yourselves, and bye-bye.